If you wanted a fresh take on this fan fave, then say hello to McRib Deluxe, but get in quick before they ride off into the sunset. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Sunny this afternoon, partly cloudy tomorrow 30, much the same on Wednesday 32, then a hot one on Thursday 35. Right now it's 30 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Raglis. Tonight, a guard of honour for slain SA police officer Brevet Sergeant Jason Doig. An elderly Findon man now charged with murdering his wife. The fallout from Port's Sandford exit. Australia's missing millions. How to check if you're owed money. And watch what happened to a golden retriever who swam out too far at Grange Beach. See the full story live on 9 News at 6 p.m. and on 9 Now.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey and Timmy G.
You ripper. Monday is here and so is Tim, Jennifer and Stephen Rowe. Glad to have your company this afternoon as we wrap up the weekend of sports. A beautiful day out there today. A nice cracking 35. About time we cracked it for December. And I tell you what, the weekend was just amazing. Adelaide was alive. I thought post-Velo might calm down a bit, but I went into town and, of course, the Strikers were on. We had the Cooper Stadium rocking with the Dave Grohl Foo Fighters. We had the Carl Barron at the Ent Centre. There was Christmas shows. It was all going off. Rowey, how are you? And what was your weekend like?
Well, good, but yours was an anniversary celebration Saturday night.
It was indeed.
The seas would have parted for you down any hotel that you wanted to.
Everywhere they went, people were just going, congratulations, well done, Angela. How did you get through?
How many years?
34 now.
Wow.
34 and counting. So, yes.
I've only just clicked over 30.
Yeah, well, we're close. We're close. Not too far apart.
That is, well done. Listen, I don't know where to start, but I've got a fair idea.
Yeah.
Our back-to-back champs.
Look, let's get into it. They were unbelievable. What a game it was, because they didn't have a big score to defend, but we are now the WBBL back-to-back Adelaide Strikers champions.
Final ball, 4 to tie it, and that won't be it. Mashungwe clean-handed, and the Adelaide Strikers are back-to-back WBBL champions.
Well, this does make us the champions, doesn't it? So, unbelievable performance it was on that day. Oh, there they are. They're singing. They're out there on the street singing still now.
They deserve that.
Well, I was going to say, we will have their assistant coach, Nicole Bolton, on the show just after 4:30. But
because the team's on the tiles, literally.
Well,
they're sideways.
I've seen some photos.
They're around the corners.
They're having a great time.
Our Gemma.
They performed beautifully in Sydney last year when they won, but this time at home, nothing better. Their family in the rooms with them straight afterwards. Just fantastic scenes. And tell you what, it was a great win because it was so hard to defend 125.
But they did.
And they did, just by the bare margin of 3 runs. And their skipper, Talia McGrath, well, she thought it was pretty bloody special again.
God, I love this team. It's just such a team. Like, seriously, everyone knows their role. There's no egos. It's team first. We have so much fun, and we just keep showing up. It's such a special team.
I said that to the Brecky team. It's the sum of all the parts. There's no star factor. They don't rely on stars. At any given day, someone will step up. The other one's happy to bowl 2 overs because there's a 7th bowler to bowl another 2. And
correct.
Well captained by Talia. They are, and I think the biggest crowd ever to an Adelaide Oval for a women's cricket game, 3rd biggest ever in the history. That speaks volumes of how these girls are loved and adored.
They deserved it. And I think Talia, led the way as captain. That was a great captain's game on a difficult wicket. She hit 38. But then she sort of changed the momentum of the game when she took 2 wickets in a row. She was on a hat-trick. Yeah. And it was just that the 3rd one just darted down to the leg side and hit the pad. So she performed, I think like a captain should, and she was outstanding. Probably very close to being BOG, but Amanda J. Wellington got it for her superb bowling performance.
2 wickets that icing last over.
She gets the bowl the last over.
They needed, 13?
Yeah, and
wow.
You know what it's like. You think,
that is squeaky bum time.
It is, but gee whiz, she bowled tight.
She did well.
And got the wickets that counted. So, and our own Gemma Barsby took a very, very special catch on the boundary line just to when the pressure was on, and she didn't look like missing it. So, absolute little champ. I'm sure we'll get to speak to more of them as we go along. Unfortunately, on the other side of the coin, our 36ers lost both games in their horror road trip, and well, they weren't real happy about the road trip. We'll hear from DJ Vasilovic now.
That's poorly done by the NBL, in all honesty. Like, man, I played in college, I played everywhere. Like, this is probably the worst road trip I've had in a long time. I'm not trying to on anyone or anything, but dude, when you got to get up at 4, I didn't sleep 2 nights ago because it is what it is. Like, it takes a toll on guys. Again, it's not an excuse. The Jack Jumpers are well coached, a well driven team. But if we want to do this type of road trip, I would have loved to play tomorrow. Give us 2 days to recover. But hey, it is what it is.
Disappointing.
They lost over there in New Zealand, then they came back to go to Tassie at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
You heard that, and then started extremely slowly, but we've seen
Again,
that the whole season, and then got a nasty little touch up there in Tassie, who are a good side. Don't worry about that. They're very good.
There is a positive. The positive is this Saturday night they're home at Adelaide Entertainment Centre. We've got the Taipans, and they'll fill the joint. I'll be there. And we need a win. They need to bounce back. I feel for CJ. He's in and under all sorts of pressure, and probably rightly so. DJ's trying his guts out. They just got to click. They've got to get it right. They've got to get their starting 5 right and play for 4 quarters, and let's hope they can Saturday night. Come on, you Sixers!
And we've got some excellent news at Alberton today. Zach Butters signs to the end of 2026. Let's have a listen to him. He's loving it all.
It's a pretty easy decision, I think. Love the playing group, love where the club's heading. Got some really good friends here now. Pretty settled in Adelaide, and got a good relationship with the coaching group as well. So, yeah, I feel like it covered all points for me, and yeah, it was good to get it done before the season gets going, so I can just focus on my football and keep trying to win games and keep trying to get deep into finals again.
Yeah, an excellent. I mean, Zach Butters is a little cult hero now down at Port Adelaide. They absolutely love him. I'd expect he's going to be in some sort of leadership role in the near future. So just an excellent one to get under the belt as far as just calming that down. Russell from Toorak Gardens has given us a unique homestyle food text and said, can anyone explain to me why they only signed him to the end of 25? I can't believe it. Well, it's the end of 26. So that's another 3 years. It's 24, 25 and 26. Agent, yeah. The other thing is, Russ, is that it's not the club might want to sign him for 8, but the manager sometimes says, no, let's play it this way. So you've got to respect what their management is trying to do as well.
Great signing. I think today he's probably Port's best player, certainly one of its most important. I think in not too distant future, Jason Horne-Francis may take that mantle, and Connor Rowey will probably say hello. But those 3 are going to hold Port's premiership chances in their palm.
That's spot on.
And they've got 2 of them done now.
Now, this is a bit tongue-in-cheek, but if he gets dropped, whereabouts will he play? Will he play in the SNFL? Or
well, now...
I heard you this morning.
What a nice little segue that is. Well, there was an article written in Melbourne, and it was that Port Adelaide have applied to the SANFL to be out of the competition at the start of the 2025 season. So they've got to give them under contract a 12-month notice. Well, that is incorrect. That is categorically incorrect. I've rung the SANFL and I've also rung Port Adelaide and spoke to them. Port wrote to the AFL last Friday to push for a National Reserve comp to start in the 2025 season. I think that's where the confusion has come from. Yep. I think they've laid to bear at the Commission's feet. If equalisation is real, if equalisation is important to the comp, why then are you paying Sydney, GWS, Gold Coast and Lions to play in the VFL and you're not offering that to us and I guess
WA
in return the Crows and the WA teams? And on that note, I do tend to agree. So the article in the paper was incorrect. I've rung the SANFL as best as they know. Port Adelaide are there until 2028 and unless there's a National Reserves comp. So Port are going to honour that 2028 agreement until, again, there's a National Reserves comp. And I guess on Brecky, I said, well, good riddance to them. If they want to go, go. Well, it's not as if they want to go. They want to be on a level playing field. And again, I do agree with that. But I like to be the attacker. I don't want to be the person at the end of the line that they finally has a decision made in front of them and then they've got to deal with it. Now, this is
what you're saying as a business person, you like to create your own destiny.
There you go. They're out. One day they're out. If it's 2028 or 2026 or 2027 or whenever. So I'm saying if I was on that commission, I would table a dossier, a business plan, a model to discuss. We'll get them out now.
Yeah,
Good riddance to what I said on Brecky.
That's what's best for them.
No, but again, this isn't between the AFL and the SANFL. No. Sorry, Port and the SANFL, the Crows and the SANFL. It's not. This is Port, Crows and the AFL.
Absolutely.
AFL have to make a decision. Pull their big man pants up and say, well, we're doing it for these clubs. Well, why aren't we doing it for these two clubs? And I agree with Port's stance on that. But here's the thing. I'm here for the SANFL, as we are for the Crows and the Port, and they're important and all that sort of stuff. They don't want to coexist, and they aren't, and they can't, and they won't in the SANFL. Go.
I think, I reckon we discussed this not that long ago. I think if all parties work out this exit plan together, I think it can work.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing right now.
That's what it's about, isn't it?
Because the SANFL need a good exit, Port and Crows need a good exit. There's money exchanging hands and all sorts.
So you need that.
Spot on.
All parties are in that exit plan and get it right.
And I think they will.
And I hope it does end amicably on all levels.
Yeah, because the SANFL will play each other twice, home and away, 18 games. I think they will.
It won't be any cleaner.
Nah.
Because at the moment, as I've mentioned to you, you've got two clubs running a different agenda to 8. Yeah. And it just doesn't. And
rules
eventually
that they're told to
give.
play with. You can't play with that player, or you can play with him, but you can't do that. Too much compromise.
And eventually something has to give. So it'll happen.
The other news, we're at the airport when
we were
Tomo walked past, and again to our station, to everyone involved,
Radio
to Variety SA. We've now raised over $1 million. 150,000 again on Friday was outstanding. So again, to our executive, thank you. And I know Sav at Variety SA loves it. But a couple of SANFL officials walked past. I won't mention their names.
Okay.
As did Jeff Thompson.
He did.
As did Flipper walk past.
And he came in again today just to make sure.
He did, and he made a stand at 1:59.
No, he made me
this
stand.
Afternoon.
He made me stand.
Because that's how many runs he made, whatever.
He's an idiot.
The SANFL are going to entertain the SAV Victoria State game during Gather Round next year. They're going to entertain it.
Yeah, as I said to you, I think if you ask players, I think they'd be pretty keen.
Yeah, I think I'm on board now. I went gun home on Friday. Nah, Nick off. You told us to get Nick. Nah, you know what? I think I'd probably half back that.
Yeah,
you're the chairman of Selectors. You'll be involved in it.
Thank you very much. Yes.
And we will smoke them.
Yeah, and that's what I think they'd like to do, be on a stage at Adelaide Oval in front of gather-round crowds and be able to beat Victoria. You'd be pretty happy with that. So I'll look forward to it. Hey, talking about telling people to get smoked and all sorts of things, have you seen the comments of Mitch Johnson on David Warner? Of course you do. That goes without saying.
I'm Team Mitch, mate.
I'll just read some of the excerpts from the spray.
Please do.
And it's fairly good. He said, as we prepare for David Warner's farewell series, can somebody please tell me why a struggling test opener gets to nominate his own retirement date, and why a player at the centre of one of Australia's biggest scandals in cricket history warrants a hero send-off? Well, he's not happy about that at all. He's then gone on to say there's no way he is going to underpin by more of the same arrogance and disrespect to our country. What will fans bring for Warner? Bunnings would sell out of sandpaper.
See, that's a sledge.
I mean, he's gone full on nuclear.
They don't like each other.
There's something's happened in history there. There's no love between those two whatsoever. So,
but is he representing us? 822 300 Are you in Team Warner, or do you think Mitch has got a point? Now, the minute that happened, you and I did say, hey, Dave, you can't pick that Sydney SCG test as you.
We just said nobody gets to pick
No one gets to do that.
But it's looking like that's playing out exactly the way. And on the back of his white ball performances, let's face that. He played you can't deny him. He played a very good ICC World Cup. Yeah. So he played very well there. That's not the red ball.
No.
And the red ball hasn't been. So he's going to get, he'll get that first test. He's got to make runs. Because I think regardless, it'll still happen.
Okay.
Exactly the way he wants it to happen.
Well, that means he's going to make runs. First test in Perth coming up. 822 300 We've got a $50 Powers voucher. Are you Team Warner? Are you Team Mitchie? Did you go to the Strikers game? Did you watch? Because it was absolutely
brilliant,
outstanding. And what about Port and Crows? Should we just say get lost?
Yeah,
Don't wait for him.
Got some messages on the
on your bike.
Got some messages on the old Unique Homestyle Foods
bike.
Text too.
Lines available 8223 0000.
Rowey and Timmy G. on the 5AA Sports Show. David and Will invite you into the studio every morning with 5AA's live video stream of The Breakfast Show. Thanks to Foodland. With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
In tough times, it's the simple things that make a big difference. Like $19 schnitzel days at the Birkenhead Tavern, Excelsior and the Lighthouse Wharf. We know the humble schnitty can't fix all our problems, but we do know it'll put a smile on your dial. $19 schnitty, Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays at the Birkenhead Tavern, Excelsior and the Lighthouse Wharf. Making the world a better place, one schnitty at a time. Got to start somewhere. You just know it's a Barreau Hotel.
Will you be South Australia's next millionaire? Now is your final chance to purchase tickets in the St John Christmas Home Lottery. With our biggest grand prize ever, someone will have the choice of the $5.2 million grand prize waterfront home package or will walk away with $4.5 million cash. Imagine how your Christmas would change. What would you choose? Get your tickets today at stjohnlottery.com.au for your chance to win the ultimate lifestyle. Deadline midnight Sunday. Licence number M14453.
Yeah, lines available. Get on the blower. We love being interactive. Semaphore Pets and Garden is more than just a garden centre. It's your one-stop shop for everything pets, plants, pots, and awesome Christmas presents.
Just the time to get in there now.
that?
I have been in there myself. Of course, when we're all locked down, we did the old garden bed thing. So I went into Semaphore Pets and Gardens and... Well, Nadine and Steve, they're just great people. Their team are amazing. They're your local indoor and outdoor plant experts. And what I was able to do was say, oh, how big do I need? And they said, what do you want to grow? How do you want to grow it? What do you want to mix in, match? And that's what we've been doing ever since. So it's now 3 years in the making. So something good came out of COVID. So we went in there for expert advice. We checked out their huge range of Christmas bundles and gifts, perfect for gardening lovers and your furry friends.
Is it still alive, this garden thing of yours?
It is.
Wow.
I'll take a photo. We just picked all the cherry tomatoes because they ripened up.
Ooh, wow.
Geez, they're sweet.
Well,
beautiful.
Maybe even bring your pup pal along if they need a harness. They'll be given a little treat while they get one
that's
fitted.
nice.
Now, if you're more of a cat person, check out their range of scratching posts, guaranteed to keep their claws content.
Which you need to do, because otherwise I'll go into you. For more than just a garden centre, visit the award-winning Semaphore Pets and Garden at 119 Semaphore Road, Semaphore.
Mate, this meat is so good. Where's it from?
Thomas Farms. It's always good.
Even the prawns? You must have gone to the markets.
No, Thomas Farms have everything, from seafood, chicken, lamb, even award-winning Angus beef. They have it all, and it's very reasonably priced.
Thomas Farms is owned by a South Australian farming family. They understand great food. Located at Castle Plaza, Colonnades, Cavan, West Lakes and now at Norwood Mall, The Parade. Mention this radio ad for an additional 10% off until December 31st. Thomas Farms. It's always good.
There's a lot to love about learning just about anything with WEA. Real-time, face-to-face learning with like-minded people. Learn about subdividing land and property development or gardening in a changing climate. Visit wea-sa.com.au.
Don't just get a forklift, get a Toyota forklift. Right now, Toyota Material Handling is having a massive clear out of 2022 and 23 plated forklifts. Score great deals across a selected range of new Toyota forklifts currently in stock. Counterbalance and reach forklifts, walkie stackers and more. So if it's 22 or 23 plated, get a great Toyota forklift deal. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au. Get a Toyota forklift. T's and C's apply. Offer ends December 31.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Yep, you love your Creedence, don't you?
Every time that comes on.
Rips in. Yeah, I love it, mate.
God, John Fogerty, Creedence, they were legends.
Yeah, we should get you maybe dancing and put that online, perhaps.
Well, apparently we've got our Christmas show Friday, and you're in 3 acts, and I'm in none, and I can actually play the trumpet.
Well, if you dance like I saw, that would be very...
Did we put that on our Rowey's Twitter account?
We're going to find a way how
to. I cut loose, mate.
It's some of the best I've ever seen.
Did that crack you up?
It did crack me up. Now, give us your call. Does David Warner deserve a farewell test? 8223 Give us your thoughts. Before then, let's check your traffic. Visit the Paradise Hotel and experience their incredible all-you-can-eat salad and veggie bar. Book now.
Afternoon at Ingle Farmer crash, Montague Road near Fairfax Road, Westbourne Park. Traffic lights flashing yellow there, Goodwood Road near Carlisle Road. And Lee Brookhurst Watermain, Glenburn Road near Kensington Road, speeds at 25 with the lane closed. McGill twisted traffic light on McGill Road near Penfold Road. And we've got cameras this afternoon, Brooker Terrace, Richmond, and Grey Terrace at Rosewater. That's the sound of you enjoying a cool, rich tasting barista-made premium iced coffee from OTR. Get your delicious pick-me-up now at OTR. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
You know what, George Bloody Bailey, and we're allowed to do that because Cornsey has nicknamed him that.
Oh, has he?
Well, he was a Tasmanian. Every time he played us, the Shield, he made runs, and now he's the chairman of selectors. He had this to say about Mitch Johnson.
I hope he's okay.
Well, I don't know why he would
That
make
was in
that
response to the article. I'm not sure why he would say that either.
No, that's below the belt.
You know, we know how serious
I hope
that,
he's okay.
that
In other
statement
words,
is.
he's unhinged.
Yeah.
Give me a spell.
That was...
do you agree with Mitchie Johnson? I do. Do you?
I certainly have not been in that boat whatsoever as far as picking when you wish to leave the Australian cricket team.
And does Warner deserve a farewell test? You might want to talk about Port, the VFL, the AFL, the Crows. Are they in, they out, equalisation? Hello, Brenton.
Hello, fellas. Look, I was reading today again about Port going into the reserves. You know, I was wondering, why is it that we are, and I say we because I'm Port, why are we always the first to start something and we're always helping others? You know, like if we go way back to the AFL business back in the 90s, we started that off and the Crows got in. Then we started the Adelaide Oval thing off and we went to the Adelaide Oval, which has helped everybody else. The only thing we stuffed up was we went to China. Otherwise, we probably would have went in with the women. I was just wondering, why are we always the guinea pig and then we get blamed?
Well, I don't know about get blamed. You're a first mover. You like to run your own race, Brenton. And I'll tell you what, if there's one thing I do like about Port is that, Tim. You run your own race. You don't answer to anyone.
Well, it's very much in your wheelhouse of the way you like to behave.
But you play to the beat of your own drum. You only worry about your own people, and there's nothing wrong with that.
And you're running your own organisation. That's what you want to be. So
that's exactly right, Brenton. Thank you for your call. What would butters be worth dollars-wise? That's from Clutch on the Unique Home Style Food text line, Timmy.
Yeah, that's...
Is he $1 million a year?
I would think that it would be close.
Once he gets to 2026, he'll be on a mill.
Yeah, I think so.
How's that?
And when you talk about Port Adelaide's top end, which, you know, they're saying all top end players they'll end up being around about 12 per club. You'd have to say Port's top four are the names like Butters, Rosie, Horn Francis, Houston, Wines. So, yeah,
big money.
You'd expect it.
What happened to replacement for Rashid Khan? Can you please tell us, Timmy? Now, is it David Payne?
It is.
Played in the Norwood 84 Premiership team?
Not that David Payne.
Payne.
But it's an English cricketer, David Payne. He played with the Scorchers, so we know how good the Scorchers have been at the BBL. They're the most successful. He's a fast lefty, so it's a different... it's not like for like, but it's a good international player. So
okay. And here's somebody straight off the bat on the Unique Home Style Food text. Warner's one of our greatest ever test openers. Of course he deserves a farewell test in Sydney. And he's going to bloom will get it. Cheers, Joe, at Port Noarlunga. Joe, the Perth test against Pakistan's coming up, I think, on the 17th. What if he gets a pair, a duck and a duck? Then you go, give him another test. And then the Boxing Day test, he gets on, a 10 and a 3.
There's only 3 tests.
Come on, mate.
They've given them all to him. Don't worry.
You reckon they have?
Oh, it's already done. Don't worry.
Right, have you say
he'll be there.
822-300-00. Nicole Bolton will join us. Adelaide Strikers WBBL assistant coach. We've got Carl Viet. Is that on telly tonight?
Well, I think it's on Paramount Plus, but I do have to apologise that tonight
after the news,
I don't think it's on.
It's got to be free to air, doesn't it? It's our mighty Reds, mate.
And
Ken Peace, he's got a book out on Dave Warner. Gee, that's very topical. Time now for the 5AA News.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. 5AA Breakfast.
If you've got the day off work, or dare I say it, if you're working from home, the temptation to hit the beach might be too hard to resist today. Not that anyone will be doing that while working from home, surely.
Informing Adelaide.
Why are we all working from home these days? Is it because of the pandemic? No, because we found out we could. Literally the only reason. There were some figures I read last week. 61% of federal Commonwealth public servants work from home. 61%.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. North Terrace came to a standstill today with a guard of honour for Officer Jason Doig, who was killed on the job. Cabin crew working for Virgin have voted to take protected industrial action for 24 hours if the airline can't offer them a better deal. Australia's labour market is continuing to tighten, with new data showing a decline in the number of online job ads. And in sport, Zach Butters has recommitted to the Power. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Stay cool. Service your aircon at Automasters. And keep cool with Cool Now, Pay Later options.
Afternoon, a crash to look out for an Eagle Farm, Montague Road near Fairfax Road. Green Acres a breakdown, Muller Road near Hampstead Road affecting outbound. Lights on the flash at Westbourne Park at the moment, Cooper Road near Carlisle Road, and slow on the drive home at Leabrook. Burst water main there, Glenburn Road near Kensington Road with speeds of 25. Cameras, Great Terrace, Rosewater, and Mate Terrace at Brooklyn Park. KFC's 6 for $6.95 original tenders are here. Want some? Order online now. Not everywhere and not forever, only on kfc.com.au and KFC app, pick up only. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA weather, clear tonight down to 18, partly cloudy tomorrow 29. Right now it's 31. We'll have more news at 5 and as it happens on 5AA.
From landing your first job, applying for a home loan or funding that retirement renovation, there are moments in life when super plays its part. Sometimes they're obvious, sometimes not. But when your super moment arrives, it makes sense to be with a long-term top performer like Australian Super. It's Australian, it's super, and it's yours. Balanced option compared to super ratings SR50 60 to 76 index to June 30, 2023. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future returns. Read the PDS and TMD at australiansuper.com.
I like to call it a passion. I can be sitting relaxing. I'm spending this holiday locked in. Back then, wasn't worried about me though. In the gym, trying to work on my free throw. What's poppin'? Brand new whip, just hopped in.
The new Kia Seltos. That's what's poppin'. And yeah, it's got options. The new Kia Seltos. The word is out.
Brand new whip, just hopped in.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
Well, after 25 years of delivering perfect service, ASIC Couriers is evolving to better reflect what they do now. They're not just couriers anymore.
No, sir.
Driving down Flinders, I went past 2 ASIC Couriers.
Yeah, that's how busy they are.
In their own vans, had their shirts, out they go, ran in, ran out, on
Proud
time,
as.
every time.
Look, they're the go-to for fast, secure, reliable national transport solutions, so they're now known as ASIC Transport Solutions.
Now, it makes it sound bigger and more important. It is certainly that. They are certainly bigger, but they're still a family business.
Correct.
They're focused on the local community, supporting their Breakthrough Mental Health Research Foundation and over 25 local sporting clubs.
And
generous, beyond reproach.
Yeah, local sporting clubs love ASIC Couriers. As they continue to grow, they'll need more drivers. So if you have a 1-ton or 2-ton van or a 1-ton ute, kickstart an amazing career with ASIC Transport Solutions. Give them a call today.
Just so we're clear, when your partner says they want a cat for Christmas, they're not talking about getting a little... They want 2.5 tons of cat forklift. The Cat Forklift Christmas sale is on now. Get the toughest in market 2.5 ton cat forklift for just $29,990 plus GST. Hurry, stock is limited. Visit unitedequipment.com.au.
Each week, IGA checks and matches the regular prices of the big two on hundreds of essentials.
Like IGA ham, whole and half hams, bone in, $8 per kilo. Price matched.
We checked, we matched, you won't pay more.
Offer available till stocks last. Participating stores only. See website for full terms.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Yes, we're back, and I'll tell you what, it's exciting, Rowey, because we're going to talk to somebody about this.
Final ball, 4 to tie it, and that won't be it. Mishungwe clean-handed, and the Adelaide Strikers are back-to-back WBBL champions.
Well, they certainly are.
Good.
A champion moment. It was just awesome. And we're going to get the assistant coach on, Nicole Bolton. Nicole, welcome and congratulations.
Thanks very much, boys.
What an exciting time. You could just see the way they were gelling during the year. They had a record 11 wins out of 14 games. You just knew they had a steely determination to win.
Yeah, I think one thing that this group does particularly well is they just front up and, they're always looking to put their best performance out there. And I think consistency of this group over the last 3 or 4 years has been huge. And I think that's sort of shown in their recent success and again, in such a long season to be able to come out on top. Probably a lot of the work behind the scenes and keeping the group together has probably played its part.
Now, we will get on to what happened on the field. At the moment, I'm more interested who's leading off the field. How are we going post-celebrations?
Well, we actually had a staff and player lunch today that started at 12, but all our staff is involved with our sports program, so we sort of came back as we had to throw some balls from 1 o'clock, but we've just seen on social media that our girls are well and truly going strong. They've managed to take both of the trophies to the hotel and ask the bar staff to create some sort of cocktail mix. So they've got both the trophies and a bit of a fishbowl going. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen when they have to rock up on Wednesday.
Oh, that's brilliant. Hey, look, to the game itself. 125, I don't think in anybody's mind did anybody feel safe with that score. The one comment I did hear Shooter say afterwards was that Talia McGrath thought that the pitch was sticking a bit. I've watched the replay again. It did look like a couple of balls did just hold up a bit. So was it that difficult? What feedback did you guys get? And the 125, did well to defend that.
Oh, I thought it was quite good early on. I think when Talia and Laura Woolvart were batting together, it looked like they were able to keep the scoreboard ticking along. And I think, when you're 1 for 70 odd after 10, you probably take that. And we're in a position to probably put 150 or 150 plus on the board. But it did look like it got a little bit trickier as the innings went along. And I think a lot harder for players to come out and get the tempo. So, 125... runs on the board in the final, you've got to be confident in your bowling attack to be able to defend that. And time and time again that our bowlers have been able to get the job done. So, and it showed again on Saturday night.
It's such a special team, Nicole. We've been a little bit lucky because we're pretty close to Gemma. She was an intern in here. We get a lot of the insight in that. You're such an even team. There's no star factor. You all play your role. We heard Talia McGrath say that. You're happy with your teammates' success, which then will equal team success. It's very rare, isn't it, Nicole?
It's a bloody great culture, this group. Only having been a part of it over the last 7 weeks, but you truly don't get an understanding of, how hard they work, the culture that they've created and how well led they are from Luke Williams, Talia McGrath, Megan Shute, right through to the rest of the squad. And I think the great thing about this group is the flexibility being created amongst their roles as well. We don't have the big name players. We just have bloody good cricketers, and a lot of those girls actually are part of our domestic program. So there's great consistency there, and more often than not, those are the girls that are standing up and getting the job done. And I saw someone like Amanda Wellington on the weekend do it again, and she's just a big game player for us. And at different times throughout the season, different players have stood up, and I think that's a mark of a really strong team.
You got any nails left? 13's gettable in the last over, isn't it? But then she gets a couple of wickets, and she loves that death knock bowling, Nicole. Talk us through that last over from your perspective.
Well, it's funny you should say that because once Luke and I sort of came to the fact that we just had won it, we sort of reflected and, I think Wello bowled us what we sort of say a couple of slot balls there towards the end, and we actually got away with it. But I think she was a bit nervous, and we were nervous as well. But when you need 13 off the last over, someone like Amanda, who's done it time and time again for this group, loves those moments. I think you feel pretty confident that when the ball's in her hand, she's going to get the job done. So. It got a little bit curly there towards the end, but she held her nerve, and that's the type of player she is.
Fantastic.
I thought the catch by Gemma Barsby just inside the line, because we all know and we see it regularly where people get really nervous because that boundary line's there. She just kept her eye on the ball, kept really calm about it, and took it as clean as. That was, for me, a real clutch catch.
Oh, it was a massive clutch catch. I mean, Gemma's not blessed with height, so, probably when the ball goes up there, she's probably going to hold the rope as much as she can, but she took it as easy as you like, and I think when the ball generally goes up and Gemma's underneath her, you're really confident that she's going to be able to take the catch, but it adds another moment of unknown when it's a final and it's pressure and, we're defending as well, so, for someone like her to be able to do that in that moment was pretty cool.
Excellent, mate. Thank you very much for your time, Nicole. All the best with the rest of the week. We hope to see the girls at some stage, not just in social media pictures with big fish bowls around them, but hopefully we'll get to see them in the 2 trophies.
I hope so too, mate. They've got a couple more days and then back on the job.
Oh,
that's
well
it,
done,
mate. Well done, Nicole. Really
Yeah.
appreciate your time and another great victory for Adelaide. The WBBL champions back-to-back, and that was their assistant coach, Nicole Bolton.
She's either a non-drinker or a captain sensible.
Oh, well, they had to go back and do a drill.
How damn good is that?
What sort of scheduling is that?
Yeah, a couple of texts. We've got a giveaway too, the Strikers
Yes.
5AA Lounge giveaway. Unique home-style food text. Boys, I think George Bailey should have his farewell as well, the same time as his past teammate Warner, after he disrespected an ex at Travis Head in India. Warner's a cheat. No farewell. Johnny from Paraka. A lot of people down that path, unforgiving with Sandpaper Gate. On the back of that, lines are available. Do you agree or disagree with Mitch Johnson's article? He basically smashed David Warner. Why is he getting a farewell send-off? What are they going to do? Go to Bunnings and buy sandpaper?
Yeah, it was pretty.
You got a
giveaway. I got a giveaway. Absolutely. 8223 0055. If you want to head along to the 5AA Lounge, 2 Adelaide Strikers v Brisbane Heat. Saturday the 9th, that's this week.
Yes.
So it's on the BBL season returns for the Adelaide Strikers. So this is the men brigade. So they take it on. Let's hope they can be as good as our ladies were. So get your tickets now at adelaidestrikers.com.au. They play Brisbane Heat Saturday, 9th of December from 6:45 p.m. Get on the phones.
Lines available. Have you say, just a quick one here. G'day, fellas. Any chance of an interview with Bassett, Nathan Bassett, the big bloody hunt, after about his new role at Nord? Coach of the coaches, apparently. Cheers, Festa. Yes, he is.
Okay,
and Scotty Bassett's going back as well to do the fitness. So that's
Good
those
get.
two together won 2 flags for Nord back in the day. So actually, we will do that. That's a great appointment.
Good idea.
By Nathan Bassett. Time for our Adelaide traffic. Visit the Paradise Hotel and experience their incredible all-you-can-eat salad and veggie bar. Book now.
Afternoon, Addingle Farmer crash, Montague Road near Fairfax Road. Greenacres, a breakdown, Muller Road near Hampstead Road affecting outbound. Traffic lights on the flash at Westbourne Park at the moment, Goodwood Road near Carlisle Road, and McGill twisted traffic light, McGill Road near Penfold Road. Cameras this afternoon, you'll find them Brooker Terrace, Richmond, and Great Terrace at Rosewater. Look for the RAA sign at over 400 independent RAA-approved repairers across SA. You know you can trust them because RAA do. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G. The 2023 5AA Variety Radiothon this year proudly raised much-needed funds for Variety, the children's charity. A great supporter of this year's Radiothon was Australian Outdoor Living. They offer everything you need to bring your backyard dreams to life. So don't wait for your dream backyard. Inquire today and you can also help kids in need. Thank you, Australian Outdoor Living, for your support of this year's 5AA Radiothon, raising funds for Variety, the children's charity.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. For over 50 years we, the Lynn Andrews team, have specialised in commercial and residential property management. But above all, we specialise in people, helping to make life easier for investors and tenants. Everyone is treated with empathy and respect. It's the way we do business. It's the Lynn Andrews way. For residential and commercial property management, we're here to help you. Visit lynnandrews.com.au.
What's a Walco family look like? Well, it looks like us. Mum, Dad, kid or two, and Paul. Paul loves her Walco solar blanket. Paul loves her Walco roller. And we all love Walco. Walco is the only pool blankie and roller manufacturer in Adelaide. They're also the only guys that make their materials here. nothing imported. Walco, making a real splash in SA. Walco.com.au.
Well, the best way to see this magnificent country is through the windscreen of your four-wheel drive, but you want to get there, you would want to be TJM equipped. My word.
Oh, yeah, and there's some
my
good
word.
news, Stephen. The Escape for Summer sale is on now, so don't miss your chance to stock up on all the gear that you'll ever need for summer adventures in the great outdoors. Weather like this, just gear up and get out there.
Ooh. So get at least 20% off camping gear, from swags to awnings to shower tents. 20% off all recovery gear like winches and recovery kits. That is massive for Christmas.
Spot on TJM Christmas essentials like beach towels, travel tumblers, cooler bags. They're 20% off, and they are the best thing to stick into the stocking. There you go.
A stocking sticker.
Merry Christmas.
Stuffer.
Yeah, a stuffer.
Now, if you love 4x4 and camping, well, don't miss TJM's Escape for Summer sale on until Saturday, December 16. Chat to TJM's 4x4 experts. Oh, they've got a great team down there at TJM. They're at Nailsworth and Clovelly Park.
Hi, my name's Reece Kirkbright from Kirkbright Seafood. When we first heard our commercial on radio, for me, I'm pretty emotional. So you're almost in tears because you think our brand, what we stand for, is getting to people that don't know us. For those people that may not know our brand, they come in, they see what we're about. And also with the retail shop, the viewing point from a fish filling point of view is right there. So a lot of people got quite spellbound that very few fish shops you can actually see the fish being filleted. So as soon as they walk in, they turn right, their eyes light up and they can see the fish being filleted. So it's a connection with people that may not know us, and that's how we sort of seen it, and they get to know what we're about. So it was a huge moment, massive.
To get your message out there and grow your business, visit 5AA.com.au and hit the Advertise With Us link.
What you do in your loo is entirely up to you, but a sweet ensuite every day is a treat. Bathrooms by Design create a luxurious bathroom experience you can cherish every time. We can help you create your dream, a classic bathroom with a clawfoot bath, a stylish minimalist ensuite that's classy and timeless. It's up to you. A new loo? Very you. Reward yourself every day with a luxurious bathroom thanks to Bathrooms by Design. Go to bathroomsbydesign.com.au.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Yeah, I think naturally over the last year or two I've probably focused on that more as a player and individually, just trying to help others, and I think in what capacity that is going forward I'm not quite sure, but yeah, naturally I like to train hard and set the tone and play as a bit of a leader and sort of inspire my teammates. So I think, yeah, moving forward in what way that is, I'm not sure.
Yeah, Zach Butters signing with Port Adelaide to the end of the 2026 season, and that was him talking about the potential leadership role that could be coming his way in
Well,
the
it
near
looks
future.
like it's Butters or Rosie. Pick one.
Yeah, I think it's coming down to that, isn't it?
822-300-00. Pick one. I think I'd pick Rosie because he's the complete package.
And yeah, okay. So what's missing from
there's,
Zach?
There's only one thing wrong with Butters.
Yep.
Just one.
Yep. What is
and I'm
it?
being very picky here.
Okay, yeah.
His haircut.
His haircut. It was not a man
What
bun,
was that?
is it?
What was that?
Yeah.
What was that haircut that Jim Carrey had in Dumb and Dumber?
It's very straight down. I know what you're saying.
It's
yeah, I'm not sure that'll come into his
far
leadership
be it
profile.
for me, who lives in glass house, to throw thy stone.
But you have.
Because I am dog ugly. But Zach, that haircut, put some product in it.
Tell you what, there's a lot
Give
of
yourself a cowlick or
a lot
something.
of young ladies think the opposite. They think he's all right too.
Timmy,
so,
put some tips in it.
Okay, gee whiz. We're getting bloody personal here about the hair,
822-300-00. Pick one. Zach or Connor.
Or
hello, Brian.
Mitch Johnson or Davey Warner.
Yeah, well, I know
Brian.
which one I'm there. Brian.
How you going?
Good, mate.
David Warner should not be able to say when his last test is. It goes on form, doesn't it? If he goes out and makes a duck in the first test and a duck in the second test, he's gone, isn't he?
Correct.
Yeah.
You're correct. You pick people on form.
Yeah, Brian, I think Rowey and I are in your court. I just believe that he's made it to this point of the career, and I think the likes of
There's a deal.
George Bailey are going to make sure
But
that he
you
gets
can't
it.
have a deal. How can you have a deal?
I don't think there's a deal. I just think they're going to keep picking him.
Keep picking him. Well, then that's a deal.
And he'll get his farewell test as he requested.
At the SCG. Oh,
there you go. Let's go to Roger. G'day, dude.
How you going, dudes?
All right, buddy.
Yeah, good, Rog.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to
Is
you
it
too,
too
Rog.
soon for that?
Yeah, probably. What are we, the 4th?
Or we can save
my
it to the
first
week off.
point-
Anyway,
My
way you go.
first point.
Yes, sir.
Oh, geez, we've got a couple of...
My first point is, Mitch Johnson, I'm agreeing with him.
Yeah, good
But
man.
I want to know the structure of a football club as far as, like, okay, we just signed Radagalier.
Mm-hmm.
Got some young blokes coming through in the rookie list and stuff like that. Zacky's there. And all the blokes you nominated before on the high list areas. How the hell, as a football club, do you designate and then think about when we're going to go in a reserves competition, how much money can we pull back, or is that all coming from the AFL if we go to a
that's
AFL competition?
That's the push, Rog, is currently the AFL play for Gold Coast, GWS, and the like to play in that second-tier comp, and that is what Port Adelaide have asked the AFL to do as well. So if they go into this second-tier comp, along with the Perth teams and Adelaide Crows here, they want the AFL to fund it as they do the other teams in the AFL. So that's the solution to that one.
Yeah, I think it certainly is. Hello, Lucas.
How you going, Rowey and Tim?
Hey, Lucas.
With this David Warner and Mitch Johnson thing,
yep.
Let's be very clear about this. If David Warner makes 2 ducks in the first 2 test matches, he gets his farewell. I couldn't care less if he says to Cricket Australia, I want a farewell against Bangladesh and Canberra. Damn it, he gets it. It's just the comments that Mitchell Johnson said are completely out of context. I don't know what the hell is he talking about. Now, back when after the sandpaper thing and when David Warner got banned for 12 months, Mitchell Johnson was in defence of David Warner. So I don't know what the hell has happened there with them two. Maybe they've had a falling out, something's happened. But that is unlike Mitchell Johnson to attack David Warner like that. It's just blasphemous from Mitchell Johnson. David Warner is one of our greatest ever cricketers, like whether we like it or not, period. If he wants a test match here and there, damn it, he'll get it. Now let's say with Steve Smith. Steve Smith would want the same thing. I bet you $1 million no one will complain when Steve Smith says, I want my farewell test match. I bet you no one will complain.
Lucas, you know the big difference that you just said then? Steve Smith won't demand and ask for one. Don't demand and ask and state and point and declare that's what you're doing. Dennis Lee didn't do it. Ian Chappell didn't do it. Greg Chappell didn't do it. Steve Ward didn't do it. He had a goodbye tour game, but deserved that, and he was captain.
But he announced it.
He had a red rag bloody tour.
He announced it the morning of that game.
That's exactly right.
Look, I think that's more so where it's come from. It's just nobody else has
the way it was handled.
Nobody else has really put it out there in the public and said, I'm going to finish here about 6 months out.
No,
that's where. But I know to Lucas's point though. What he's saying, and it's a point you make now and again. Look at the record.
Just look at the record.
And his record will, on paper, go down as, like Lucas said, one of the best players that's played for Australia. I think where he's upset people is the way he's gone about his work sometimes.
Yep. Okay.
Certainly, we're going to speak to Ken Peace. He's written a biography on Dave Warner called "The Bull: Daring to Be Different," and I've had a little flick through and a little read myself, and it was on the South African Test 2018 when the sandpaper thing happened. I didn't realise how nasty that series was and how much the South Africans and Australian players were into each other.
They were.
Led by Davey Warner.
Yeah.
It was intense.
He was the attack dog.
Oh,
he was called the attack dog.
And they actually asked for the stump mics to be turned down.
Before the tour. Because they wanted it to be on.
They knew it was going to be on.
And guess who was the coach back then?
Yeah. It was Buff. It was Buff. So
that's right.
Yeah, it was. It's going to be a good read. I'm looking forward to talking to Ken afterwards.
We'll do that. Mitch Johnson, have you say about that? Is he right? Does Davey Warner deserve a see you later game? 822 300 00. And just up until 5 o'clock, we can do a little straw poll, and we can do it after 5. On the back of our Strikers girls going back to back. Sporting dynasties, dominant SA sporting teams. Now, they're amongst it. The Crows won back-to-back. They've won back-to-back. Sixers did. Our Thunderbirds have been terrific. I think as Centrals in that 9 flags, and that's a dynasty.
That was a dynasty.
You were a part of a dynasty, 7 in 11.
Yeah, well, I tell you who else I was just thinking of. Then didn't he? I reckon our 36ers won back-to-back.
They did.
98, 99.
They did.
Didn't they?
They did.
Around that as well. So,
Sporting dynasties.
There you go.
God, we're pretty good at those things.
Yeah, it's not, as everybody knows, it's hard to win, but to keep backing it up is even better. So that was
that's
excellent.
the
Hawthorn would
difference.
be in there.
Yeah, that's the difference between good teams and great teams.
I think so.
They're always giving themselves a chance to back up and do it. You'd say Richmond.
Richmond did it, three
and
out of 4. So, yeah, in what everybody keeps telling you, a competition that's really hard to win, they've been able to create a mini dynasty for themselves. So,
and I wonder whether you can plan for dynasties.
Well, you do the hard work to create them.
Well, Richmond
Absolutely
did. They declared
100,000
members.
He did.
Debt-free and 3 flags.
I do remember that was probably about
Ballsy.
8 years before they got there. But I've got to say that he was bold enough to say, I'm going to do that. But I think, I know where you're going. You probably come to the Port example. The Port one maybe was a little, maybe a bit shorter time frame.
Unique Homestyle Food text. Boys, you've got it all wrong. Candice was the one demanding a farewell for David. It's Joe from Gawler. Really? Mama Bear said, I want a farewell game for my husband. No.
They have...
No.
They have,
really?
Do they speak for each other? They've had...
I think they're one, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Certainly been very public with comments, no doubt about that. But
I don't think Candice would have any say on selection / surely. Hey?
No, of course not. But the thing I think, there's got to be always something behind the comments. And Mitch Johnson, if he was, what would you say, if he was good mates with Dave Warner, I couldn't see him coming out as hard as this. So there's obviously history between the two.
Here's another one. Afternoon, lads. No Australian Test cricketer has ever had a farewell match / tour locked in advance. Shouldn't start now. Neil, you're spot on.
Yep.
You are absolutely spot on. $50 powers voucher, have you say it. Lines available. We are interactive after the 5 o'clock news. We've got a big show coming up. We've got Carl Viet, Ken Peace. I'm looking forward to that.
On said subject, David Warner.
On the ball. Peter Hawley on the 36ers, ESPN NBL commentator. Time now for the 5AA news.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
The high-tech home of tomorrow has a new name. It's not Siri or Alexa. It goes by the name Jim. Add data, security and complete connectivity to your home with Jim's Antennas and Security. Start by asking Jim to boost your Wi-Fi for streaming TV and gaming. It's easy with integrated cables and extra data points. Jim can make sure your free-to-air channels are crystal clear too. For a high-tech home, just ask Jim. Hey Jim. Jim'sAntennasandsecurity.com.au.
Breaking a windscreen, look, it's not sexy, it's unexciting and simply not fun. Can also be costly. At Complete Windscreens, we get it. All you want is same-day service at the best price and quality guaranteed. For near 50 years, this SA-owned and operated autoglass company has serviced your needs. Whether it's tinting, chip repair, calibration, supply and fit or glass cutting, we are there for you. 220 Main North Road Prospect, the big red koala out the front, completewindscreens.com.au.
Set sail for maritime adventure at the Dockside Festival in Port Adelaide. Explore iconic port vessels, handmade markets, and indulge in a mouth-watering seafood experience while sipping local beverages. Plus, live music, carnival rides, food trucks, and interactive fun for the kids. For sports enthusiasts, enjoy the action on the Port River. The best part? Entry is free. Dockside Festival, Saturday 9 and Sunday 10th of December at the Port River Waterfront, Port Adelaide. Docksidefestival.com.au.
Things are about to get even more exciting at Cherry Glen Osmond with the arrival of the Cherry Tego 7 Pro. The Tego is a step up in size, engine performance and luxury. A full-sized family SUV featuring a panoramic sunroof, heated and ventilated seats, twin 12-inch displays, CarPlay, 360-degree camera and so much more, including high-tech safety, and all from $39,990 drive away from Cherry Glen Osmond. Go beyond with the Tego 7 Pro. Book a test drive drive at gocherry.com.au.
Babe, you know how we've been together for a while now?
Yeah, 6 months.
Yeah, do you think it's time we started getting our own furniture? Get rid of the hand-me-down stuff like that couch, for example?
Yeah, sure.
Yay! So I've mapped out a shopping day at Jepp's Cross Home HQ. Dining table, focus on furniture, bed from Sleepy's, new couch, provincial living, robes, wall span.
Do they sell new girlfriends?
Oi! Jepp's Cross Home HQ is the best. Let's get coffee at Q3 Coffee Lounge.
Hooray, can't wait.
Me neither!
Hi, I'm Jo. I'm a registered nurse and I work with St Louis Home Care as a clinical care coordinator.
St Louis was started by my great-grandmother and is one big happy family with lovely staff just like Jo.
The people that work for St Louis are very loving and caring.
Whether it's personal care, preparing meals, shopping, home maintenance or social activities, we help people stay at home for longer.
If you're interested, come and join us.
Google St Louis Home Care today.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Clear tonight, down to 18, partly cloudy tomorrow, 29. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher.
There's plenty of stock ready for immediate delivery on Mitsubishi Triton from Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Elizabeth.
Frank Damasi has been given a bedside hearing after being charged with his wife's murder. The body of 85-year-old Maria was found at her Findon home on Saturday night. The pair were married for more than 6 decades. The 91-year-old remains under police guard in hospital. And a woman accused of plotting to smother a man to death with a pillow while he was in rehab following an earlier attempt on his life has been granted home detention bail. 34-year-old Letitia Fortune allegedly tried to kill Jonathan Horton at Hampstead in 2018, the ex-husband of her former lover Lisa Lyons. Miss Fortune is allowed to live at a share house until her next court appearance and has to wear an electronic monitoring bracelet. South Australian Police came together today to remember Jason Doig, the officer shot dead in the line of duty in the state's southeast last month. Acting Commissioner Linda Williams delivered a eulogy, saying he served his community with distinction, honour and courage.
When we look at Jason's life, we see an unwavering dedication to the community. We see a man who put his life above others. We also see a dedicated police officer, but more importantly a son, a brother, an uncle, a friend and a very respected colleague.
North Terrace came to its standstill afterwards with a guard of honour for Jason Doig. A man has copped a hefty fine and lost 7 demerit points after taking an early morning drive on the freeway. His Kia was clocked at 153 k's an hour in a 110 zone at White Hill near Murray Bridge shortly before 3 a.m. The 28-year-old Fijian national's fine coming in at just over $1,700. Virgin cabin crew have voted to take industrial action if the airline doesn't offer better pay and conditions. The vote means staff can take 24 hours protected industrial action as long as they provide Virgin with 3 days' notice. Ground workers recently withdrew a similar vote to strike after the Transport Workers Union reached an agreement with the airline. Politicians have remembered the fighting spirit of Labor MP Peter Murphy, who has lost her long battle with cancer. Michael Packey is in Canberra.
Politicians across the aisle have united to pay their respects to Peter Murphy, describing her as a warrior as she battled an aggressive form of breast cancer. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says she never complained and until last week turned up for her parliamentary duties.
As ill as she was again thinking about this.
Ms Murphy was the federal member for the Melbourne-based seat of Dunkley since 2019, and she used her time to raise cancer awareness and push for online gambling reform. Liberal Senator Simon Birmingham praised her contribution.
Such strength, such grace, such determination.
Peter Murphy died at home with her family by her side. She was 50.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Claim your free hotel voucher and perfect your summer today. Head to saweekendescapes.com.au.
Port's Zach Butters has signed a contract extension that will see him remain at the club until at least the end of 2026. Butters had an outstanding year, winning the AFL Coaches Award as well as Port Adelaide's Best and Fairest, and he's looking to climb to even greater heights in 2024.
I definitely think my midfield craft and my stoppage craft can still grow a lot. And you look at the good players around the competition, Petrarca, I think Brokey over the years, Bontempelli, they all still get better and keep rocking up and find ways to get better, and whether that's defensively as well.
Meantime, the Crows and Port hit the training track this morning as pre-season continues. Well, Swans recruit Brodie Grundy has opened up on his fall from grace at the Demons last season. A two-time All-Australian player at Collingwood, Grundy finished his one-year stint at Melbourne in the reserves. He says the experience will make him stronger.
Look, it was tough, but I've used these periods of adversity to really grow as a person and shape me and the sort of leader that I want to be as well, and it's probably given me great perspective.
And world number one Scotty Scheffler has won the Hero Golf Challenge in the Bahamas. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Stay cool. Service your aircon at Automasters. And keep cool with Cool Now, Pay Later options.
G'day there, at Ingle Farm, a crash to look out for Montague Road near Fairfax Road. Green Acres, a breakdown, Muller Road near Hampstead Road affecting outbound. Traffic lights on the blink at the moment at Westbourne Park, Goodwood Road near Carlisle Road. And Burst Watermain slowing up the drive home at Leebrook. Glenburn Road near Kensington Road, trying to fix that right now with speeds of 25. Cameras at Adelphi Terrace, Glenelg North and Press Road at Brooklyn Park. Dan Murphy's don't match, they beat prices like Craigie Range, LaSalle, Syrah 2013, just $120 for My Dan's members. Ends Wednesday. Choose to drink wise. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Clear tonight down to 18, partly cloudy tomorrow 29, Wednesday partly cloudy 32, and the same on Thursday. Right now it's 32 degrees. Now let's see what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Brenton Raglis. Tonight, a guard of honour for slain SA police officer Brevet Sergeant Jason Doig. An elderly Findon man now charged with murdering his wife. The fallout from Port's Sandford exit. Australia's missing millions. How to check if you're owed money. And watch what happened to a golden retriever who swam out too far at Grange Beach. See the full story live on 9 News at 6 p.m. and on 9 Now.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Yes, welcome back to the 5 o'clock hour. It's going to be exciting. Got some really good guests coming up. I'll tell you what. And we're asking you to call in 8223 0000. Give us your thoughts on, does Davey Warner deserve that farewell test? Well, it's going to be the boxing on the New Year's Day test in Sydney. He wants to be farewelled in his hometown. Also, give us an idea of a sporting dynasty that you've enjoyed recently, whether it be South Australian or maybe you're liking a national dynasty somewhere. And maybe who won a dynasty over there? Probably Chicago Bulls. That was a dynasty, no doubt about that, in the NBA. And also Port and the Crows, when should they leave the SANFL? Rowey, you got a bit of an update on that?
Well, yeah, on Brekkie, there was an article from Melbourne saying Port have notified the SANFL they want out. And look, as you do, you get into work, you ring the SANFL, you ring Port, you have some chat. So it's actually incorrect. Port are going to honour their 2028 agreement. That is until a National Reserves comp comes in. Now, I get that. What did actually happen, and these are the facts, Port did write to the AFL, that was last Friday, to push for a National Reserves comp to start in 2025. And maybe that's where the confusion came in. So it's a letter.
Funded,
that's right. So they tried to lay to bear, if you like, at the Commission's feet. Well, if you truly believe in equalisation, and you'd imagine that they do, you have a draft, you have,
Well, we know it's got holes in it.
Well, it has, and here's one of the holes. The AFL pays Sydney, GWS, Gold Coast and Lions to play in the VFL, which is really a pseudo, if you like, reserves national comp.
Correct.
So Port, and typical Port, they go, well, what about us? And they have every right to, and I agree with that. So if you're looking at it as Port want out of the SANFL or Port against the SANFL, it's not. Of course they want to be on an equal playing field with
all those teams over there playing in a competition that's going to be very similar set up to what they've got. At the moment, We
It's
know
fair.
the SANFL has 8 teams on one agenda and 2 on another.
Which does make it hard. And look, and I still stick by this. If the intention of Port and Crows is to go, if I was on that commission and I could put a paper together, I'd say, well, let them go now.
Yeah, I just think if all parties keep open and honest,
And that's
it'll
what
work
they're going
well.
to do. And look, I mean, honestly, football at heart, the best interest of football at heart, I think they'll all win. Anyway, enough of that. You can have your say if you like, 822 300 but let's talk Reds.
Well, our Adelaide United team are over in Sydney. They're about to play Macarthur. We got the coach on the line. How good's that? Mr. Carl Viet. G'day, Carl.
Good afternoon, guys.
Hey, mate, Macarthur, they played in that Asia Cup, had to go to Thailand to play. They've come back. I saw you say a fast start. Got to get a fast start to get them on the back foot.
Yeah, most definitely. I know they left some of their starting players at home, so they'd be fresh for this game. But there's still players that travelled, and travelling like that into Asia and then back, you're always going to carry a little bit of fatigue into your next game.
Yeah, but as a matchup, it's quite strange. We both like playing each other at home. I think it's 3 losses away, 3 wins at home each. It's a strange one, mate. We want to break that drought.
Yeah, most definitely. It hasn't been a very good place to come to for us, Macarthur. So hopefully tonight the boys can get the job done and get the 3 points.
Where are you as a squad, Carl? Are you close to your best? Are you working towards your best? Is it around the corner? Just paint a picture where you think you're at.
Yeah, look, it's where this is game 6 tonight of the season, so we're just sort of at the beginning. We've got quite a few younger players that are playing and starting games for us. So, the longer the season goes on, the better that they're going to get, and the better the team's going to become as well. So we're still a fair way off of where our best is, but the boys are still doing a great job at the moment.
Yeah. I see Luca got a start, got his first goal. He's going to be a good acquisition.
Yeah, most definitely. I suppose that's a benefit of having, young players in the team. They bring that enthusiasm, they bring that energy. And, Luca brought that last week, and, we're looking forward to him getting out there, getting another start tonight and getting some more goals for us.
I call them your gang of youths. You've got all these kids that you've developed through the ranks, and I love the way they come on and they stick to whatever you've told them to do, and they seem to love every minute of it.
Yeah, most definitely. I think that goes to all young players, no matter what sport. They just want opportunities and they want to show you what they can do, and as long as you give them that belief, young players always say they will surprise you.
I noticed in the preparation, you said last time you went there, you're trying something different. You're about a 45-minute trip away from their ground. This time you've decided to get closer and make it just a 5-minute drive.
Yeah, that's right. With sponsors and the hotel chains and that, we had to change hotels that we normally stay in. This hotel is just virtually around the corner. So hopefully, because at times, because it's a fair way out, sometimes you get caught in traffic in Sydney, and when you get caught in traffic in Sydney, it's the worst place to be.
Sydney FC's a distant memory away, wasn't it? We were there, Timmy. A long.
And I've banned him since, Carl.
Yeah, well, reverse the curse. But with this young group, this young coachable group you've got, Timmy's given them a new name. Are you anticipating real good highs, but then those lows? Are you wanting to flatten that out?
Yeah, most definitely. I think that's you gain that consistency with experience. Yeah. And I think, as I said, as the course of the season goes, I think we'll become more consistent. But it's an opportunity also, for these younger players to learn and develop. But it's also puts a lot of responsibility on the senior players. And it's important, as I say to the group all the time, what does our good football look like? And it's important that we, try and replicate that every time we play.
What does it look like? Paint the picture in my head. I'm going to close my eyes now, Carl. What's it look like?
Yeah, look, it's players taking risks on the pitch. If they looking to play forward, looking to have a lot of movement. When we become static, we become most teams, when they're static, it's easier to play against. So it's important that we have a lot of movement and bring a lot of speed into the team and be brave and play forward.
Yeah, I like it.
Well, it was a good result against Western United with
Wasn't
exactly
it?
that. You had to bounce
Yeah.
back from the Sydney game, and it looked like you guys got back to some of that you're talking about, plus defensively a lot better.
Yeah, look, I think, they say defences win championships, and, we've done a lot of work in the pre-season on our defensive structure with the whole team about being desperate to defend and protect the goal, and I think that showed really evident last week. We're still sort of maybe at times giving away a few too many opportunities for my liking, but that's sort of on the flip side of that, we play a little bit open and, want to play that entertaining football.
Yeah. Who you got your eye on for the January transfer window, Carl?
That's one that was sort of, we have room in the squad to bring someone in, but it's not about, just bringing someone in. We've got to make sure we have a good look at where we're sort of need anything, if we do need something. But, there won't be no panic buying or wanting to, just bring someone in for the sake of it.
Okay. Steph Moore, interested?
We've had a few conversations with Stefan. I think he still, would like to stay in Japan. So look, we'll just keep the communication open between us and Stefan and see what happens.
Is there another little 16, 17-year-old out in the wings that you can just bring straight in? God, they're not a dime a dozen. They're like bloody picking cherries off a tree at the moment for you, Carl.
Yeah. Look, we're very fortunate that we've got a good development pathway.
Yep.
Coming through from football South Australia right through to our MPL youth MPL team. So hopefully we can just keep that, as you say, that production line going.
Keep the kids going, mate. You're doing a great job. Get the win and come home. It's been a long time, nearly a month it'll be, when we play the Raw on Sunday. December 10. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, hopefully the pitch isn't in too much of a disrepair after the concert the other night. But we're looking forward to getting home.
I hope you had a good word to Dave Grohl.
Well,
apparently it went very well. So
that's the main thing.
I just hope the patrons didn't leave a lot of little Scoobies on the grass.
I'm surprised that Carl wasn't invited to sing a song. That's bloody rude, mate. Hey?
Good on you, Carl.
Good on you,
Have
mate.
a good one. Go get them tonight.
All the best.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
Adelaide United taking on Macarthur tonight. That was the coach, Carl Viet.
Yeah, hopefully they win. Have we found out whether it's live on telly tonight on 10?
It's Paramount Plus.
It's on Paramount Plus. Got a unique home-style food text here. A quote from Reuters. Is that Reuters?
That's it.
Reuters.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, okay. See how I do that? I'm clever.
Well done.
June 3rd on Reuters, Australia opener David Warner said he will call time in his test career after playing against Pakistan at the Sydney Cricket Ground, SGG, next January, if he is still in the team by then. That is from Terry H. Beach from Henley Beach.
Okay.
I don't know whether it's Terry H., but it's Terry from
That's Terry.
Henley Beach. He likes to have a crack at me about my factual stuff and all that. He's a little thorn in my side, old Tezza. One day I might meet you, Tez, maybe not. Well, here's a quote, also on Reuters. Fortunately enough, I've had a very good, successful international career, and I'm at the back end where I'm able to choose my retirement.
Oh.
Now, honestly.
That one's a bit more forthright.
Well, okay. We know he is. We know he wants to. Our discussion, Terry, without all the semantics, is should a player of his calibre be able to pick?
Do exactly that.
Which is what he's done, Terry H. Beach, or Terry at Henley Beach, or Terry H. One day, Tez, I'd love you to ring. He loves his little text, but I'd love you to ring. Interaction, 8223 Hey, time for traffic, and we are interactive now. Lines available. We'll take you all the way through till 7.
Woo-hoo.
Visit the Paradise Hotel and experience their incredible all-you-can-eat salad and veggie bar. Book now.
At Smithfield, a tree down there, Main North Road near Curtis Road. Crash at Eagle Farm to look out for, Montague Road near Fairfax Road, and pretty sluggish due to a breakdown at Greenacres, Muller Road near Hampstead Road. That's affecting outbound too. They're trying to fix up a burst water main at the moment at Leabrook, Glenburn Road near Kensington Road. Got speed to 25 there. And look out for a pesky camera, Main Terrace at Brooklyn Park. The BMW demo event is now on with offers across the BMW demonstrator range. It's time to seize the moment. Ends December 31st. Speak to a BMW dealer today. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
5AA celebrates 12 days of Christmas with Australian outdoor living. Bring your backyard dreams to life today and book your free design consult on australianoutdoorliving.com.au. Keep listening for more great gift ideas. Merry Christmas from 5AA.
There's Millionaires Mix, Triple Choc Heaven and Macadamia Magnifique. Merry Christmas, folks. I'm Brett Charlesworth, and they're just 3 of over 100 mouth-watering delights we make for you at Charlesworth Nuts. This year, more than ever, you need to spoil yourself and your guests with the very best and the absolute freshest. And when it comes to nuts, that means Charlesworth. I guarantee you will taste the amazing difference that 80 years of experience brings. 11 family-owned stores or shop online. Why Charlesworth? Because fresh nuts taste better.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. The National Tiles Cyber Monday event is on now. This is the biggest National Tiles online and in-store event of the year. Spend $4,000 and we'll only charge you $2,750. Or spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. This National Tiles Cyber Monday event is absolutely massive. So go to nationaltiles.com.au now. But you'll have to be quick.
Now, if you're close to or you just finished building your new home, there's massive congrats on that, but it's not really complete without a stunning driveway or picture-perfect paths around your castle. So do it right and get in touch with the incredible team at Adelaide Exposed Concrete. Now, we're lucky we've met Shane and Amanda. We've been away with them. They're a great team, but I, too, had to book when I wanted to get about, I think it was about 35 cubic metres of cement at Complete Windscreens. They arrived at a Sparrow's Fart Saturday. I was a little bit dusty because you and I went out.
Yeah.
But out they went, they worked away, they toiled away, they did a magnificent job. Their workmanship is second to none. And you know what I love about people like that? You can make a mess with cement. It's clean as anything when they finish. You would not have known they were there.
And that's the thing. I reckon what happened was you've been reading these live reads and you thought, is this true?
I'm going to try them out.
Am I going to get the service, the communication, the workmanship that is first class? Am I going to get that?
Timmy.
And what did you get?
And the best way to tick the box of a company is to taste them, to try them. And I did. And let me tell you...
You tasted cement?
Oh, God.
I hope not.
There's a couple of times in my life I needed a couple of teaspoons of it. Now, if your current driveway paths or patios are ugly or they're cracked or falling apart, give the super friendly team, and there's certainly that, at Exposed Concrete, a call to replace them.
Because that's basically what you did, was you repaired a bad area.
There were 3 individual areas that I helped prepare, and then they put the mesh down, boxed it all up.
Did it beautiful.
And they went above and beyond. They said, no, take it back to here, let's do this, it won't cost you more. And I'm saying that they weren't doing any favours. They do this to everyone.
Everybody
This is how they operate.
It's the same.
Don't think, oh yeah, Rowey, because you know. No.
That's the way they deal.
This is how they do
business.
business.
A stunning exposed aggregate driveway, path around the home, patio for your shed. Get in touch with Adelaide Exposed Concrete. Best on ground all year round. Even if you need your driveway done at Complete Windscreens, you can get it done. AdelaideExposedConcrete.com.au.
Get your home ready for Christmas at Coles with 20% off Christmas decorations like fairy lights, baubles and tinsel, plus thousands of other specials every week. That's great value, hands down, at Coles. Offer ends Tuesday. Excludes licensed collectibles.
With energy prices continuing to soar, Solar Heart is helping smart Australians soak up more sunshine, store more energy and save more money on every bill. And right now, you can save up to $750 on Solar Heart solar power systems. The bigger the system, the bigger the saving. But with government incentives set to reduce, it pays to get in quick. Don't settle for soaring energy prices. Get smart. Get Solar Heart. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, Alan Lark from Mannix Air. In our harsh Australian climate,
There's nothing better than a Mitsubishi Heavy Industries wall split to cool or heat your home. Mitsubishi Heavy Industries is highly awarded, super efficient and super quiet. A quality choice for your home. Best of all, purchase one now at Adelaide's best prices from Mannix and get up to $250 cash bonus from Mitsubishi Heavy Industries. Conditions apply. For a free quote, call 1300 Mannix or go online anytime.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
You know, clearly Dave would like to get through the series and finish up in Sydney, and fully respect that and understand that from a playing point of view. I think we've been pretty consistent, you know, around the fact that with any player, performance-wise, it's how they perform as an individual and then how that performance actually fits into the function of the team, and that won't change. Not specific to Dave, I think all players, it's about performing and how that fits into the team that'll determine the makeup of the side in any given test.
It's George Bailey on Dave Warner. Unless your name's Travis Head, and we'll drop you because we think you're not going to go well in India.
There you go. That's where it comes unstuck.
And then he is man of the match in India. Yeah, funny about that. Mr. Bailey.
Who agrees with Mitch Johnson about his spray of sorts to Davey Warner?
Of sorts.
Have you say 8223000. I reckon Matt on the Unique Homestyle Food text summed a bit of it up. No one doubts Warner's cricket ability, but not many people would want to sit and have the beer with the bloke.
That's probably...
Is that perception reality?
It's perception probably for most of us who haven't met Dave.
No.
So our perception would be that, he's just a troublemaker, or he gets in your face, he's not a guy that I'd enjoy his company.
He's an attack dog. He's
an attack dog, all that. So that would be the perception. And one of the old rules is you can't judge somebody until you meet them. And that, unfortunately, when you've got probably no chance of meeting them, you make an opinion up.
What's the saying? You can't judge a book by its cover.
There's the cover.
David Warner, the ball, daring to be different. Maybe you can.
Ken Peace, we'll talk to him after 5:30. Let's go to Jake at Windvale. G'day, Jake.
Good afternoon, lads.
Good, buddy. What do you reckon? The war.
I 100% agree with Mitchell Johnson, and I'm just going to say this. It's called the Steve Waugh effect. Ever since I was a child and can grab the remote to flick the TV to watch cricket as a child, you know, I watched many a captain, many a astute leader for our country playing for Australia. And when watching Steve Waugh in his final test, knowing that his figures what they were, how many centuries he made, when he made that call that day to go, you know what, lads, and Australia, this is it, I'm done today, thank you very much, he deserved it. Same with Shane Warne and a few other players. I just don't believe Dave Warner represents everything that the Steve Waugh effect has had on me and a lot of other Australians. And it's been like 6 months since he called he was going to retire in a year's time or whatever.
The timing of it was the one as well, Jake. I'm with you. Oh,
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And the worst thing is, it's like, you just mentioned about his performance versus his ferocity, okay? His on-field ability. Well, I wasn't impressed by him during the World Cricket, the Test Match Championship against India. He didn't set the world on fire. And yes, I agree with you, Travis Head got dropped for no apparent reason. And who's going to take David Warner's spot? That is when Warner should have stepped down, said, I've had my time. Let's get someone else in to fill that top spot so they can be ready for the summer coming now.
Yeah. A lot of people are with you there, Jake, on the text line. Why wouldn't you be looking to blood someone against Pakistan? That was from John. Here's one thing. I wonder, and I reckon right now, and I don't know, that the current players just tolerate Davey Warner on the back of the attack dog and the way he is and the persona he is and the sandpaper gate and all that. Be interesting to see how his teammates reflect on him as a teammate when he's no longer an Aussie cricketer. I reckon that'll be the judging point. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, it's like Mitch Johnson, who was a teammate, is now obviously not a fan.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Well, when Steve Waugh's name comes up, the next name that comes on the screen is Johnny from Port Augusta.
Hello, John.
All right, boys.
Johnny.
Let's get a few facts.
Yes.
Steve Waugh did have a farewell tour. He announced on the 26th of November 2003 he was going to retire at the end of the tour, and he gave Trevor Holmes nowhere to go, so he really had to play. They had a farewell tour, so what's the difference?
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did, Rowey. Do some research.
He didn't say it with any conviction there, Johnny.
I guarantee it. Anything you want on it.
It was a red rag tour, and he deserved it because he was captain.
Well, I didn't deserve it, Rowey. He's the most selfish cricketer of all time, and he is. And if you actually ask the likes of Shane Warne and Ian Chappell about Dave Warner, they actually said he actually had a pretty good bloody cricket brain, to be totally honest.
Okay.
They actually thought he was one of the better tacticians in the Australian squad.
Now, Johnny, Warner or Johnson, what corner? Are you in the red corner or the blue corner?
I'm not against Mitchell Johnson, but I'm in Warner's court, to be honest, because you make the rules with Steve Warner at a farewell tour, and he bloody did, Rowey. On the 26th of November, he announced that he wanted to play the Indian tour because he was struggling a bit and whatever else, and he gave Trevor Holmes and the selectors of the day nowhere to go, Rowey, and that's a guarantee. It was not just a Sydney test, it was a Gabba test, it was every test of that summer, that 5-test series.
Johnny,
a 4-test series, four.
Johnny, far be it for me to ever question your facts, and right now I'm saying you're right, but during the ad break, we're going to go to the 5AA News. I'm going to ferociously Google that and fact check that last little debate, because
that was great.
I think poor little Johnny gets a bit clouded when Steve Waugh's name comes up.
Yeah, well, Jake was in the Steve Waugh mould. He liked the way he went about it, and he wasn't as keen on Davey Warner.
We're going to go to the 5AA News. After it, we're going to speak to Ken Peace, who's
written
got a
biography.
Yeah, he has. It's on Dave Warner, very topical.
Yeah.
And the headline is The Ball, daring to be different. Time for the news.
Beautiful.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G. 5AA Breakfast.
The daily delivery of letters could be wound back as part of a restructure of Australia Post. Feels like we've been knocking this around for a long time now.
This is the world's oldest story.
It is, isn't it? Under the changes...
There's a cave painting of someone discussing this.
Under the changes, posties would deliver parcels each day and letters every second or third day.
Sometimes you go to Kakadu, someone's done a sort of blow art picture of someone not delivering mail every day.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good evening, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. More details have emerged about the death of Maria Damasi on Saturday night after a bedside hearing for her husband, who's charged with her murder. The federal government has finalised new laws which could see some asylum seekers put back into immigration detention. 2 of the 3 tenors are returning to Australia, and in sport, Bernard Tomic is no guarantee to play the Australian Open next month. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Stay cool. Service your aircon at Automasters. And keep cool with Cool Now, Pay Later options.
At Smithfield, there's a tree down there, Main North Road near Curtis Road, Ingle Farmer crash, Montague Road near Fairfax Road, and a breakdown slowing things up at Greenacres, Muller Road near Hampstead Road, affecting outbound. Best Watermine at Lee Rock, they're fixing that at the moment. Glenburn Road near Kensington Road with speeds of 25, with cameras Addison Road, Pennington, and May Terrace at Brooklyn Park. Get your crew going away from conferences to sporting, special interest trips to school excursions. Flight Centre's Group Travel Gurus have you back. Visit flightcentre.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA weather, clear tonight down to 18, partly cloudy tomorrow 29. Right now it's 32. We'll have more news at 6 and as it happens on 5AA.
Celebrity Cruises' award-winning Edge Series ships will have you ticking off up to 10 hotspots in one voyage. Resting in accommodations designed to bring you right to the water's edge. Dining in up to 32 distinct restaurants, bars and lounges. And flying over the sea on the magic carpet. The world's best ships sailing to the world's best places. More happens on the Edge. Visit celebrity.com.au or contact your travel advisor to book.
Motoring with Adelaide Hills Motor Group.
It's the SUV brand that few people knew about, and now it's the one they can't stop talking about. Of course, I'm talking about the Ineos Grenadier, the premium old-school off-roader with slick modern tech. You've probably jumped on their website and built your own, but do yourself a favour and get behind the wheel. They've got a range of Ineos Grenadiers right here at Adelaide Hills Motor Group. They do live up to the hype. Come and take a look. See you soon at Adelaide Hills Motor Group, Glen Osmond Road at Fullerton.
With help from Fluorio Milk Company and the Udder Way, cafes all over Adelaide have joined the fight to reduce plastic waste. Instead of single-use plastic bottles, they've introduced the Utterways reusable 18-litre kegs. In the initial week, they stand to eliminate 1,500 plastic bottles. Together with other cafes, supermarkets, schools, restaurants, hotels and workplaces, millions of single-use plastic bottles will be taken out of circulation. You gotta feel good about that. Visit fleuriomilkco.com.au for more.
When you've been around for over a century, you know a thing or two. And Business SA and Ray White have almost 300 years between them. So, when an alliance is formed between Business SA and Ray White Business Sales SA, they're bringing all their experience to your business, making sure it's in top shape, whether you're buying, selling, or somewhere in between. So go on, touch base with the experts. Search Ray White Business Sales SA. Proudly partnered with Business SA.
Footprints, hundreds of them, thin ones, big ones, muddy ones, in every room of your house. You might expect that from tradies when you're renovating, but not when you choose Bathrooms by Design. All our tradies, including tilers, plumbers, electricians and carpenters, are overseen by one project manager. They're flawless, meticulous and as coordinated as a ballet, but without the tutus. Reward yourself every day with a luxury bathroom. View our designs at bathroomsbydesign.com.au.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Yes, welcome back to it's about 5:35 and hope you're enjoying this beautiful warm weather we're having in Adelaide, and thank you for being part of the show. Rowey and Timmy G. Foodland live stream too. You can get on there and have a look, Facebook and YouTube, and get on the unique Homestyle Foods text line. Well, I'll tell you what, he's been the man of the subject at the moment, Dave Warner. We've got a new book out called The Bull, and it's written by Ken Peets, who's written plenty of really good books. So we're going to get him on the line now and have a chat. G'day, Ken.
G'day, lads. It's really nice to be with you. Yeah, I've got to get a real job, really. I'm up to 87, 88 now, so I'm going pretty well.
You're doing well, mate. Hey, the homework for the book, what insight on Davey Warner ended up surprising you?
Well, he is an amazing team man, because I was one of those polarised people who couldn't forget Cape Town 2018 and his lead role in the Sandpaper.
Mm-hmm.
But all the people that I talked to close to him, like his batting coach, his first captain, the coaches, the selectors that first selected him, they were saying, Ken, I can tell that you're not completely wrapped about Dave the individual, but he is a sensational team man. So until today, when Mitchell Johnson has come out big time and has really bagged him big time, everybody else, it's been a closed shop, if you like, and they do love him because he actually, as his batting coach Trent Woodhill said to me, he was brave enough to try and help Australia win that test match. He's saying, I'm not condoning what he did with the Sandpaper, but he at least was brave enough to try it and help Stark to be able to swing the ball around corners, because the Australians were cornered, and that was the game of the series where they just had to win it to win the series. They didn't. And, of course, the year-long suspensions occurred afterwards.
When you're talking to a lot of people, and you mentioned the word yourself, Ken, polarising does come up. What are the main reasons that you've seen that reasoning come out?
Well, I suppose his litany of misdemeanours, a little bit like the footballer David Rees-Jones in Melbourne, or Dermy, like he threw a punch at Joe Root in the walkabout bar at Birmingham at 2 a.m. He and Aaron Finch were expelled from the Australian Cricket Academy as 19, 20-year-olds. Cozzy might have been involved in that from Adelaide too, from memory. So but on the field, he really became the attack dog. And one of the test matches in Adelaide, you remember Siddle and Hilfenhaus bowled virtually both ends all day against South Africans, and Duplessis made a century on debut. Carlos had injured his hamstring. They weren't allowing to have any runners, and Warner was into Carlos. So it was one of the great champions of the game, saying that you're too old, you should just get out. Like, he was trying to win the game for Australia by getting into his head. Carlos had played 145 test matches. Warner was playing his 10th or 11th. It really was not the right thing, not in the spirit of cricket. And Duplessis says, ever since that day, every time his name's mentioned, or particularly when I see him, I turn red. So the South Africans in particular have really disliked him. Despise isn't, it's probably strong enough. The Indians and so on, they tend to like him more because he plays a lot of IPL, and they realise that they've seen the Warner, who is the real Warner. He's had two lives, one before his wife and one after his wife. But the wild wanton boy early, it really was wild.
What's the best Warner version, before or after Candice? I see she's got a chapter 8.
Yeah, that's right. Candice warrants a chapter. There's no doubt from a spirit of cricket point of view, but he still has a go. He's wiser for the experience, but he was very lucky to get where he did, and he was suspended from the Australian tour, the Ashes tour, the only guy to be sent home. And they actually sent him to South Africa in Zimbabwe, where he made a double century. Darren Lehmann had just taken over as coach, and Lehmann came back, and he'd just been appointed. And he came back and he said, no meeting of mine is going to go more than 15 minutes. Boys, you can actually put it on your stopwatch and just tell me when it's 14 and I'll shut up. And he just said, and Davey, don't stuff up again. He actually used a little bit stronger language than that. But Warner really towed the line. But there's no doubt that as a player, like Ricky Ponting has made something like 75 centuries for Australia across all levels. Warner is next with 40, 49 or 50. He's been an amazing player. And Greg Chappell did the forward. And he wrote it even before I said him the first chapter. And he said, I know this man. And he was trying to get Warner into the New South Wales team. He played for Australia, made 89 from, in an hour, exhilarating hitting. Nobody had ever heard of this young kid from Matraville, from the Housing Commission. It took New South Wales 2 years to actually pick him in the red ball side. Chappell kept on sending texts and ringing up his mate Brian Tabor, the chairman of selectors, the old chess keeper. Tabs, you got to pick this kid. He's not just a one-day slogger. It took him 2 years to see it Chappell's way, and within a year he was playing Test cricket on his second game in Hobart. He made a century. He's been a remarkably gifted player, albeit permanently tainted by Cape Town.
Dave Warner, the ball, during Daring to Be Different, he certainly was that. Our special guest, Ken Peace, is the author. If Sandpapergate wasn't a thing, would David Warner have a different story? Would he have a different legacy or even appeal, Ken?
Oh, yeah, because he was scoring his runs up until recently, even at Test cricket, at 80 runs per 100 balls. Like, that was right up there with Adam Gilchrist and the Indian Virender Sehwag as the greatest striker in cricket history. Like, he just got on with it, and it didn't matter who it was. Like, his great bravado, and, okay, he didn't apologise for using the sandpaper or getting his mate to be the patsy in Bancroft, but he backs himself, and the star sportsmen have to have it. You've got to have some strut, like a Dermot Brereton. Or like a Dean Jones in the old days. He would fancy himself against anyone, Dean. And he asked Curtly Ambrose, the fastest bowler in the world, to take off his wristband that famous day in Sydney.
Worked out well.
And, he got 5 for not many in a big time. Geez. But so you have to love Warner for his sheer exuberance. Not everybody likes him for some of those polarising things that have happened, but at the same time, he's been a remarkable player for Australia, as Chappell says in his forward.
What would the opposition say about him?
Up until recently, they hated him. Broad was at the Walkabout bar, Stuart Broad, and he's talked about it in his recent autobiography himself. And Broad said they were really not disdainful, but they didn't trust Warner at all. They didn't know what David Warner was going to come up, especially after 12 o'clock and especially after a few rocket fuels, because Warner on the rocket fuels can be pretty bad. But at the same time, he had to fight and claw everywhere he came from. Like, he changed schools so he could be in a school which had cricket. And suddenly he's playing for New South Wales under-17. So I saw him down at our local ground fielding, and he was the loudest kid at 16. And I walked over to Freddie Friedman, and I said, "Who's that loud kid at Long On?" He said, "That's Warner. You better stick around and watch him bat because he hits it really well." and his clean hitting, it's only been matched by Glenn Maxwell of recent times. So they're champions to watch, but not necessarily champions off the field.
Do you like him?
I've respected his ability, and until recently, no, I didn't particularly like him. But talking to Dominic Thornley and Brian Tabor, who's since passed, Matthew Mott, now coaching England in the White Day stuff, they said, Kenny, just have a look at the big picture. He's been fabulous, and Tim Payne, for example, who's only just stepped down or been replaced as Test captain. You know, they're like brothers, all those boys. So this is why Johnson's criticism in the last 24 hours has been a little bit from left field. Maybe they've got some old wounds to heal. Maybe Johnson bowled a couple of bounces and Warner told him wasn't fast enough. But yeah, you got to have a little bit of madness when you're a fast bowler, especially bowling in Australia.
Yeah, I thought so. Is he smart, Davey Warner? Like, we get a lot of texts. They're coming through left, right and centre as you speak. Unique Homestyle Food text line. This sums up probably 8 of them. Fellas, let's just cut to the chase. Warner's a flog and he has an IQ of sandpaper. Is that unfair?
What he hasn't got is Warnie's charisma.
There you
Warnie
go.
had this
Good
interview
point.
with Michael Parkinson. He said he's not the sharpest tool in the shed. He'll keep on making mistakes. But please, Australia, listen, forgive me. I'm going to keep on making mistakes.
Yeah.
Warnie's never done that. Like, Warnie had the genuine Teddy Whitten or Neil Cooley handshake and the smile, and we all melted. We all loved what he was doing. We knew that he was being set up by the call girls in London. Warner just hasn't got that same rapport with the public. He's street smart, but his apologies, they just didn't seem to be as genuine as a Smith. Like, he just broke down. He could hardly talk, Smith, when he came back from Cape Town, you know, when they were sent home early. Warner wants to go out as a hero, but I've got no doubt, as some of the people are saying on the text, there will be booing for him from Perth to Melbourne and all the way to Sydney if he is to last that long. I think he deserves to actually start in the side. I think his World Cup was good enough. I know it's not red ball cricket, but a lot of the Test cricketers, it's not as if they've been playing Sheffield Shield all summer. You know, Smith and these sorts of guys, they haven't had a red ball game for months and months. So he deserves to start as opener. I hope that he does well, because with more than 100 Test matches, he's been a great champion of the scene. He hasn't been necessarily the greatest ambassador for cricket, but everyone's different, aren't they?
That's for sure.
Well said.
Who would you give the best sledger to? Would you give it to Warner, Warne, or Ian Chappell?
Oh, gee, it's a grand final field, isn't it? Warnie's miraculous, but Healy was one of the best ones as well, like with Ranatunga. He would say to Ranatunga, the Sri Lankan, you just can't have a runner, mate, because you're fat. And apologies to all the Sri Lankans out there.
I had a lot of Tim Tams. Yeah.
But that's right. Warnie was bowling to the fella who was in South Africa one day. It was a provincial game, and he was very Rotown, this fella. And Ian Healy said, maybe if we bowl up a couple of Tim Tams, he'll have a go at you, Shane. And everyone burst out laughing. There's been some great sledges in cricket, like Andrew Simons when he came out to bat in Melbourne one day, and Kevin Peterson said to him, here comes the specialist fieldsman. You know, he's batting number 6 for Australia and bowling second change. And Peterson just didn't rate him. And in that game, Simons made 156. And remember, he jumped into Matthew Hayden's arms at the MCG there during that Christmas day. It was just fabulous stuff. So cricket wants its characters. Warner's been an amazingly skillful player and also a great character, but without having the charm of some, like a Warnie or a Healy or a Gilly or dare I say it, Ian Chappell, who were just like the club bowlers. Ian Chappell, I think, was 18 playing down at the Bay at Glenelg, and he had a couple of South Australian new ball bowlers bowling against him, and he just said, he started shaking his head. He made 100 in this game just before he got selected for South Australia. This would have been about 1960. And he said, fancy you opening the bowling for South Australia. You're not good enough, he said. And he was 18, 19 years old. It might have been Hitchcock and Trasui who were bowling at the time. Yeah. So fun and games. But again, you've got to have the bravado to be a good sportsman, I reckon.
And back it up. I think you've summed him up beautifully there. Just interesting, we've debated on the back of Mitch Johnson's comments about, being pretty critical about Davey Warner picking his last game and, his see you later alligator type of game. Why bring the book out now? Why didn't you wait to see how it did end for him at Test cricket, Ken?
Well, I think down the line, Warner will do his own book. So this is a biography, and it's spoken through the eyes of all his mates, his closest mates, those that have mentored him all the way through. So in many ways, it's a much better book, I think, because it's not honeyed in any way. I serve it up. And it's one of the reasons why The Bull is one of the Christmas bestsellers and about to be reprinted, because I take you behind the scenes and tell the reader exactly what happened. Like in Cape Town, for example, Warner's plotting with Bancroft in a little side room. Nobody else saw them. And Warner said, oh, by the way, this is what we're going to do. And Smith, Captain Calamity, said, I don't want to know anything about it. Do what you like. Oh, wow. Dear. It was the wrong decision. Like Greg Chappell with that underarm years ago.
Yeah.
Smith, that say, wasn't fit to be captain. And Darren Lehman rang Peter Hanscom downstairs on the bench and said, what is going on? He just couldn't believe it. Much too good a cricket person to have condoned it. So there was a school of three that were responsible. They all got suspended. And Warner and Smithy, they're still paying the price now. And Bancroft, he might not even get back into the Test team, even though he deserves to.
Well, how ironic would it be if Warner's out and Bancroft goes
Takes
in
his spot
for runs? It probably looks that way. Ken, one last one. Unique Homestyle Food Text for Interactive here. This is from John. The real test about Warner's credibility is ask yourself, would you want him coaching your kids' cricket? I'll ask you that, Ken.
He's a much better bloke. With that year off, he went down to his club, the Randy Peaks, they call him, which is Petersham Randwick, and he took his kids down to the Big Blast, and he was a hero down there. And he realised in that 2018 time off, he realised how much cricket meant to him. And he took time, he signed autographs, he did selfies, and he's a much, much better player, and from the point of, and a much better person for the experience. So I've got full marks. I've got a total admiration for the Warner that we've seen of the last 4 or 5 years. I hated Cape Town. I hated the punch at the walkabout bar. Like some of the old Test cricketers, they're still estranged by what happened, and they won't even hear of him being amongst the best 10 or 12 cricketers, post-war cricketers the last 50 or 60 years. But for me, he's right up there, and deservedly so.
Ken, great read, great book. It's in all good bookstores. It's a Wilkinson publication. Great read, as you said. It is a top seller. David Warner, The Bull, Ken Peace, the author. Thanks for your time.
Really enjoyed it. And for people who want a limited edition, a signing, they can go to cricketbooks.com.au. Thanks again for your time, lads.
Great work, Ken Peace.
Thanks, Ken.
Verbalise that brilliantly, I thought.
Oh, well, he's a professional, mate. Over 80 books.
Well,
Unbelievable.
Well, it's true.
Great reporter. Writes a very good book.
Candace has got her own,
Yeah, I've read the Sandpaper Gate. I didn't realise.
That is riveting.
It is very... And what I didn't realise was how nasty and intense the banter was between South Africa and Australia. It was. And from Australia's point of view, it was led by that man there, David Warner. So, tell you what, it's a good read.
Yeah, there's a lot of text, like you can tell a bloke by how his opposition perceive him. And there's
That's
a lot
why
of
I asked.
text on the back of that. Well, there's a quote by Martin Crowe. Now, Martin Crowe's revered New Zealander. His quote, the only quote of his in the book, Warner can play, but he's the most juvenile cricketer I've ever seen on a cricket field. Now, that's
a fair sledge. That's a fair sledge.
Well, taking out 80 grit sandpaper would probably do that, I reckon. 9 minutes to 6, time for the traffic. Visit the Paradise Hotel. Experience their incredible all-you-can-eat salad and veggie bar. Book now.
Got a tree down to look out for on the drive home. It's Smithfield, Main North Road near Curtis Road. Engle Farm, a collision there. Montague Road near Fairfax Road. And a breakdown slowing things up at Greenacres. Muller Road near Hampstead Road. That's affecting outbound too. Best water main's getting fixed at the moment at Leybrook, so she's sluggish there. Glenburn Road near Kensington Road. Got speeds of 25. And you find a camera on the way home. Great Terrace at Rosewater. Waking up with joint pain? Bauer finds premium quality braces and supports assist many Australians to lead a more active life. Call 13-KNEES or go to 13knees.com.au today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
5AA celebrates 12 days of Christmas with Wallace. Cine Savers are back. 5 tickets for $60. It's the perfect Christmas gift. Get yours in cinema or at wallace.com.au. Merry Christmas from 5AA.
When you book a hearing test with Can Do Hearing, you'll be seen by an accredited audiologist. Can Do Hearing is South Australian, and we're not owned by a hearing aid manufacturer. This means we only recommend what's going to work for you, and your options are almost endless. Plus the extra bonus, our profits go to Can Do for Kids, supporting local kids living with hearing and vision loss. Book an appointment with Can Do Hearing today. candohearing.com.au. That sounds better.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. Precise Plumbing and Electrical. We're helping life flow.
Or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
6 minutes to 6. Who was the...
Kenny Callender?
No, yeah, Kenny Callender. Sylvester
Yep.
had a bit of a...
He did, indeed.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
Don't even know why I'm doing that.
I don't know why, Stephen, because it's an advert that we're going to read now, and you're going to do a professional voice without that
There you go.
impediment. Now, Rowey, it's fair to say you have overstepped the line once or twice in your
What?
life.
Never. Crossing the boundary, not me, mate.
No, that's not really.
I might have steamrolled a couple of things.
That you have.
Did
Now,
one this morning on the Bricky Show.
you need boundaries. And it's not just a fence. I'm talking about Carstone. Now, they are an SA company with a magnificent reputation for premium quality fences designed to enhance your beautiful home.
Now, you walk down any street of Adelaide that has one of the best postcodes. There's no question about it. Everything from heritage fencing to smart contemporary designs to brush to...
Oh, magnificent. And I'll tell you, I just stare at them in awe.
I drove past them.
Yes, I
off
told you
Port
where they
Road,
are.
you turn left to your...
There it
you
is.
go.
Now, if you're not sure about your options, book in for a consultation and let Carstone inspire you.
And they will remember you haven't finished it until you've fenced it. View their gallery at carstone.com.au or arrange a consultation.
The sun is shining, so it's the perfect time to farewell hefty electricity bills and welcome a brighter future with NRG Solar. Unlock the power of the sun with cutting-edge solar battery technology that's backed by a rock-solid 10-year warranty, saves you thousands, and empowers you to control your energy usage like never before with a simple-to-use app. This summer, add value to your home and say goodbye to blackouts. Don't wait. Visit nrgsolar.com.au. That's nrgsolar.com.au.
Each year, See Differently trains more guide and assistance dogs than any other organisation in South Australia. You see cute puppies, we see much more. We see lives changed and even saved.
Do you see what I see? Do you see what I see? Do you see what I see?
Please donate generously to our Christmas appeal and help more South Australians living with vision impairment to see what we see. Go to seedifferently.org.au.
I ate half this ham on the bus.
Then the other half is all for us.
Oh.
Aldi's half-leg Aussie ham is just $7.99 per kilo. Go big on the little things with Aldi. Good, different.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Yeah, 4 minutes to 6. We've been asking you to give us a call, 8223 0000, or send in that unique Homestyle Foods text. Just give us a bit of an insight into your thoughts on the Mitch Johnson comments on Davey Warner.
Well, Mark said straight away on the text line, I hope you two are going to pull your big man pants on and change your mind on Warner.
No.
Nah.
No,
Hello, Adrian. Are you? You like him? D. Warner, you a fan?
Wasn't going to call in, Rowey, but I had to after hearing that bloke plug his book. So, apparently Warner is brave now.
No,
With the world to believe, Warner is brave, but trying the idea of tampering with the ball to help Mitchell Stark swing the ball.
That was a terrible assessment, Adrian. I agree.
Boys, where were you?
Yeah.
Where were you?
Correct.
No, spot on. That was a terrible
No,
assessment.
I'll tell you what.
Should have
I'll
jumped
tell
on
you
it.
what brave is not. I'll tell you what brave is not. Brave is not getting the test opener who's played half a dozen games go and do your dirty work.
Yep.
That's spineless. That's what that is.
Adrian, great call. Great call.
I think poor
and
old
that's why,
Bancroft's still
mate,
paying.
if my budgie had diarrhea and I had no newspaper, I wouldn't line it with that book. It's not good enough to do that job.
That's a
Not gonna
$50
buy
powers
it.
voucher right there.
Yeah, well done, Adrian.
Well done.
Good call.
How ironic would it be? Bancroft right now is leading the charge to be the open batsman for the Test team.
He's
Warner out
he had a
Bancroft.
great
in,
Shield
can
year
you?
last year, and
Could that happen?
well, I feel like he's been probably the biggest victim of that incident.
I wouldn't wipe Budgie Poop up with that book.
That was
Quote,
we wouldn't line his cage with it. He said.
Unquote. Hello, Jason.
Gentlemen, good afternoon. I've got a different slant on it. You don't get to pick your debut. You don't get to pick your exit. Alan Robert Border, last test, Johannesburg. Ian Healy, last test, Zimbabwe. All Healy wanted from memory was the first test at the Gabba to say goodbye. Gilchrist comes in, makes 80, the game moves on. We're entrusted selectors. They pick the side, our national side that we love and we support, hard times, bad times. I just, I'm 50-50. I can see both sides, but the point that I want to make is, can these retired greats of our game that we all love, the summer game, the national great game that we love so much, that we listen to and watch and play, can they just stop eating their own? Like, I know Johnson's got a career in the media, a 2-bit plus piece that he writes or someone else writes, but can we just let our champions be champions in memory, like ex-girlfriends?
Oh, Jason, that's the best call of the year.
Well,
he is on the podium. That was a great call.
You don't get to choose your debut probably puts it most in perspective.
Or your exit.
Well, we're not sure about that one yet. Let's
not
go to
happy.
Mick at Tea Tree Gully.
My
Hey, Mick.
ex-girlfriend's only had one, Connie. Big lips. Hello, Mick.
Hello, Mick.
Yeah, how you going, mate?
Good, buddy.
All yours, Mick.
Yeah, I was a bit on the same path as the other fellow that rang up. That Ken bloke you were saying, talking to, and saying Warner's apparently a great teammate. Well, teammates don't throw a young fella under the bus, mate. Why didn't he do his own dirty work?
Yep.
Yeah, I think
that's good. And we should have probably jumped on that, but we've got a bloke on to promote his book, and we've asked him questions. There's a certain respect you've got to be, but I think we should have jumped over
I did
that.
look sideways
Brave.
when he said
You
brave.
did,
I didn't like that.
You did.
Yeah.
Timmy, jump in next time.
Nah, and he's got me. No, he's spot on.
got
Was that
us.
Adrian? He was spot on.
Yeah, no, well done. Okay, don't buy the book now. 8223 00.
Not unless you got a
The
budgie.
sport line number. Now, after 6 o'clock, your calls. We are interacting. We love your calls. Going to speak to Peter Hooley too. Why would we do that? He is ESPN's NBA and NBL basketball expert. Used to play. We're going to talk about the 36ers and drill him. And I mean drill him. Time for the news.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G. Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Clear tonight, down to 18, partly cloudy tomorrow, 29. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher.
There's plenty of stock ready for immediate delivery on Mitsubishi Triton from Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth and Elizabeth.
The Damasi family has released a statement following the death of 85-year-old Maria. Her 91-year-old husband has been charged with her murder at their Findon home on the weekend. The statement says Maria was a loving mother to her 4 children, her 10 grandchildren and a great-grandmother to 13. Family was everything to Maria and she was everything to her family. We will always remember Maria for her warmth, caring nature, compassion and beautiful smile. Frank Damasi appeared in court via video link from his hospital bed this afternoon. It's alleged he rang 000 late Saturday night after killing his wife. He said he was sorry and that she deserved it. His blood alcohol level was more than 4 times the legal limit. The matter has been adjourned for the suspect to undergo a psychiatric assessment. Slain police officer Jason Doig has been remembered as a man who served the community with the highest commitment and compassion. He was shot dead while attending a call-out at Senior last month. Another officer was wounded. Acting Commissioner Linda Williams delivered a eulogy today, saying he was the bedrock of the Lucindale community.
Jason modelled what country policing is all about, working with your community to achieve the best outcomes. He was a strong advocate for the Lucindale people and always had their best interests at heart. Being actively involved with locals was also paramount, with Jason assisting as a lifeguard at the Lucendale pool, volunteering with the fire brigade, assisting sporting teams and regularly having a chat with those frequenting the local pub.
Police Commissioner Grant Stevens, who's on leave after the death of his son Charlie, was among those at the service. A case of extreme speed on the freeway in the early hours of this morning has cost a man over $1,700 in fines. The 28-year-old was busted at 153 k's an hour in a 110 zone at Whitehill near Murray Bridge. The Fijian national has also lost 7 demerit points. The federal opposition is considering legislation to get asylum seekers back into custody if they're considered a community risk. More than 140 people have been released after the High Court ruled indefinite detention is unlawful. Changes to the rules could see asylum seekers convicted of the most violent crimes redetained. Farmers say the big supermarket chains need to pay them more for their produce. Coles and Woolworths will face a parliamentary inquiry next year into accusations they're price gouging. Both companies deny the claims, arguing they're helping suppliers and customers while dealing with higher business costs. But National Farmers Federation Chief Executive Tony Marr says the agricultural sector is not getting its fair share.
We want to make sure that people are able to enjoy all the great products that farmers are able to produce, and that's whether that's Christmas ham to bananas to blueberries to all of the products that we know. So that, we're really encouraged that this inquiry is going to shine a bit of a light on what's happening across the supply chain.
And the surviving 2 of the 3 tenors will return to Australia next year. Placido Domingo and Jose Carreras will perform 5 shows, including one at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre on March 19. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Claim your free hotel voucher and perfect your summer today. Head to saweekendescapes.com.au.
Star midfielder Zach Butters has re-signed with Port Adelaide until the end of 2026. The 23-year-old won the Power's Best and Fairest award this year and finished 4th in Brownlow medal voting. He's expecting big things in 2024.
I feel like as a footy club, we're going to strive to get better and strive to be better. And I feel like the boys have shown that. It's pretty cliche, but everyone's come back in good nick and already training at a high level. So, it's really exciting.
A former Australian teammate has called for an end to speculation surrounding David Warner's place in the Test team. While Warner excelled at the One-Day Cricket World Cup, his form at Test level has been modest in recent years. But Queensland's Joe Burns says Warner deserves to open the batting in the 3-Test series against Pakistan.
I'm excited to see him fare well with the Test arena. I think he's earned that right, and I still think he's one of the 2 best openers Australia can pick, so for me it's a no-brainer.
And Tiger Woods remains hopeful of playing a tournament every month next year following his return from ankle surgery. The 15-time major champion finished 18th at the Hero World Challenge, his first competition since the Masters. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Stay cool. Service your aircon at Automasters. And keep cool with Cool Now, Pay Later options.
Crash to look out for at Huntfield Heights, Melsetter Road near Melford Road. Smithfield, a tree down Main North Road near Curtis Road, and a breakdown slowing things up tonight. This one's at Greenacres, Muller Road near Hampstead Road. That's affecting outbound too. Best Watermain getting fixed at Lee Brook, Glenburn Road near Kensington Road with speeds of 25, and a camera grey terrace at Rosewater. Enjoy exceptional savings on Mercedes-Benz demonstrator models at a 4.99% comparison rate when you finance with Mercedes-Benz Financial. Limited time, T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA weather.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 18 tonight and clear, partly cloudy tomorrow 29, Wednesday partly cloudy 32 and 32 again on Thursday. Right now it is 32 degrees. Now let's see what's happening on 9 News tonight.
Thank you, I'm Brenton Raglis. Tonight's headlines: Police have held a guard of honour for slain officer Brevet Sergeant Jason Doig. An elderly Findon man charged with murdering his wife remains unconscious in hospital. And 2 hoons have been caught speeding more than 100 kilometres over the limit at Holden Hill. And don't worry, you haven't missed the news. Start over on 9 Now as soon as you're home.
Set sail for maritime adventure at the Dockside Festival in Port Adelaide. Explore iconic port vessels, handmade markets, and indulge in a mouth-watering seafood experience while sipping local beverages. Plus, live music, carnival rides, food trucks, and interactive fun for the kids. For sports enthusiasts, enjoy the action on the Port River. The best part? Entry is free. Dockside Festival, Saturday 9 and Sunday 10th of December at the Port River Waterfront, Port Adelaide. docksidefestival.com.au.
G'day, what you looking at? Shh. Quiet. Oh, what you looking at?
Oh, well, isn't it obvious? It's remarkable. The detail and finish of Michelangelo with the raw beauty of Monet. I've never seen anything like it.
I have. I've got one at home. Drive on it every day.
What? What do you mean? That's ridiculous.
It's an exposed aggregate driveway. Beautiful.
All right, who's the artist?
Adelaide Exposed Concrete. Best on ground all year round.
G'day everyone, Cornsey here. Now, I know a great team when I see one, and the South Australian hydraulic team I rate the highest is BL Shipway. I've known them for a long time. David Shipway is one of the best blokes you'll ever meet. BL Shipway, they've been looking after your hydraulic and pneumatic needs since 1953 with brands like Ryco, Rexroth, Enerpac, Hydac, Oilpath, EasyFit and many more. And if you can't get to them, they'll send a Ryco 24/7 van to you anytime, anywhere. blshipway.com.au, the South Australian team you can count on.
When you've been around for over a century, you know a thing or two. And Business SA and Ray White have almost 300 years between them. So when an alliance is formed between Business SA and Ray White Business Sales SA, they're bringing all their experience to your business, making sure it's in top shape, whether you're buying, selling, or somewhere in between. So go on, touch base with the experts. Search Ray White Business Sales SA. Proudly partnered with Business SA.
Bill delivers meals for Meals on Wheels.
Yeah, been doing it for 3 years and met some great people.
Bill, what else keeps you busy these days?
Oh, golf Thursdays, Men's Shed Fridays, and right now I'm planning a cruise with Jan.
Oh, how old are you, Bill?
North of 70.
Well, Meals on Wheels turns 70 this year because volunteers like you keep delivering delicious meals to people all over South Australia. Planning on slowing down, Bill?
That would be cheating.
It would. Meals on Wheels. Great food, great people.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Yeah, welcome back. Thanks very much for being part of the show. Foodland live stream, Facebook and YouTube. Unique Homestyle Foods text line. Keep them coming along. Davey Warner.
Elton John, Kiss the Bride, wasn't it?
It is, correct.
I reckon I could nearly take you on now. Getting better.
Good call. What year was it?
79.
83. So,
he is gifted.
You
are gifted.
I was in year 12. Remember it well. Let's get to our next guest. All thanks to Parafield Airport Liquor, home of the hardest to find wines, beers, spirits. Life's better with your pals.
Well, our mighty 36ers lost both away games to New Zealand and the Jack Jumpers after two very sluggish starts again. What have they lost every first half now? Or the last 11?
I think 12.
There you go.
Might be 12.
Joining us is Peter Hooley, ESPN NBL commentator. Pete, thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me.
How much of this is scheduling? How much is our talent? And how much of it's coaching?
Oh, it's probably a mix of all of it, to be honest. I mean, obviously the words have come out in the press conference about the scheduling, and as a past player who's had to play some regional New Zealand games in a season back in 2018, look, it is tough, but right now I'm on the fence with those comments because I look at what New Zealand have to do travel-wise. I was there in Perth for round one when they played Tasmania on a Friday night, and I was catching the red-eye back to Melbourne, and I was in the lounge at about 11:30 p.m. Perth time, and then I see all the Jack Jumpers there, and I asked what they were doing, and he said, Scott Ross said, there's no direct flight back. So they were catching the red-eye, which we ended up getting delayed on tarmac for 2 hours. We got back to Melbourne at 6 a.m., and they stayed in Melbourne at the airport for 3 hours and flew to Hobart. So the scheduling is just a part of basketball more so than any other league around the world, with it is, and I've had some 3 a.m. wake-ups, but I knew they were in trouble when they were talking about it before the road trip. I think Jason Key said it when they got the itinerary. So there's certain things you can do to try and help, but you know it's always going to be a tough task, and once they kind of laid that egg in New Zealand, I expected that Tasmania game was going to be a lot worse, and in the end, that's the way they came out.
It felt like they were already defeated, Peter. And we had the coach on prior and they were talking about the scheduling. Then I hear DJ in the post-match saying, I don't want to, SHIT on anyone, but you got to get up at 4 a.m. I didn't sleep. And I do understand that mentality because you're looking at the alarm clock hoping not to sleep in. But if everybody else is going through it, I felt like they were already defeated before they got there. Is that the way you guys saw it?
Yeah, I think, as I said, the way that I heard from them in practice, just in the news clips and everything before they even left to New Zealand, I kind of got the thought of, well, maybe not defeated, but the seed had been planted already. Like, hang on, if this is going to be tough, then how are we going to respond to this? And look, there's a lot of different things you can do. If they did it all over again, I'm sure they would change the scheduling. Maybe if they can't do the flights, it'd be, do we need to have a shoot-around on game day? Maybe we change the shoot-around just to a walk during the hotel and then a team walk outside, and then we get a bit of extra time to sleep or nap and do all that. There's always different things you can do in hindsight, but I've had plenty of 3 a.m. wake-ups throughout the time that I've done it. I used to have a road trip in college where I had an 8.5-hour blizzard bus ride back from Maine with cold cheese pizza. So it doesn't get much worse than that, but it did feel like the seed had been planted. And then again, it's hard to switch on. And once you lose that first game and the seed's been planted, it's going to grow, isn't it? And they get to Tasmania, you're even more tired, and then mentally you've kind of checked out, and they kind of seem that way from the opening tip.
Ironically, against Tasmania, their second half was better than their first.
Yeah, and I think that was a lot to the rotations as well, with the young guys getting in. Nick Marshall and Trenton Flowers got in there and just had a bit of energy. They were just desperate for some playing time. But to be honest, that's probably more so in Tasmania, where you're up by so much and you've got the game in the bag at halftime. It's hard to continue to keep your foot on the gas when you look at this opposition and they're all flat and you're thinking, well, we're not going to lose this game, but you also don't want to embarrass them and put up 50 points. So Tassie kind of took their foot off the gas. But it's not, I don't think it's dire straits for Adelaide. It's just, okay, this was a tough weekend. We could have really used it as a character building if we just got that first win. I guarantee you, if they get that first win in New Zealand, even with all the scheduling, they come out a lot better against Tasmania. That didn't happen, but now you've just got to try and put it behind you and come out and get some wins.
They're second bottom, 4 wins, 9 losses. What do you think the problem is, Pete?
I think it's just a mix of things right now. You talk about the rostering they brought in Vasiljevic, and we thought there was going to be another import they brought in. And the hardest thing is, I'm sure they were looking for a while, but at this point in the professional season around the world, who's available? Is there anybody the right fit available? I think, again, we're geniuses in hindsight. If they had their time again, they would have said, if we've got these couple of names, we're just going to pull the trigger on one of them and hope that it comes in and moves things around, because they've got a couple of build-ups in spots where I thought this year was going to be a big breakout year for Nick Marshall, and he hasn't done a whole lot wrong to deserve the limited minutes he's getting, but he's kind of stuck behind a bunch of different guys. Trakel had 0 points against Tasmania, so he was kind of disappointing in that game, and Mitch McCarron's role keeps changing. So there's just a bunch of different things that all continues to add up, and it's obviously going to get more highlighted the more losses you have.
CJ, is he safe?
Well, for now, I believe from what the word is that he is safe. And again, you see what happened in Illawarra with Jacob Chacomas, and they parted ways. That's very rare to happen in an NBL season. It doesn't happen too often to make a move like that. And I think right now the ownership group are probably looking at CJ and saying, look, I know we've got 4 wins right now with the rest of the season. And I spoke to DJ Vasiljevic on a podcast a couple of weeks ago. If you just can get wins together and start feeling good about yourself, you sneak into 6th and just playing your best basketball come the end of February. Anything can happen. So there's no way the season's over. As I said, Melbourne United obviously are going to be there. Tasmania are going to be there in business end. Perth have turned it around. But besides that, teams keep faltering above. So you just get wins. You get 1 win in a row, then you get 2. You sneak into 6th spot and you continue to play your best basketball in February after the season plays. Anything can happen.
Hey, Pete, on a different note, there's been talk about having an equivalent of gather round, if you like, in the AFL or the Magic Round in NRL for basketball. We contemplated when that could happen. We were actually thinking in some states there's a long weekend in October. Could that be the way to open the NBL season with a festival of basketball?
I'm not sure about open, but I have heard some whispers about this as well. So the fact that you're bringing it up that's good news, and I think that it's probably going to happen sooner rather than later from what we're all hearing. And again, the success that it did happen with footy. And I selfishly would like to have it in Adelaide. It'd be nice to get back home for a little bit and go up there and see some games and then go, or where I grew up in Harndorf, go to the wineries. That seems like a pretty good weekend for me. So if you guys want to help push this agenda, I'm all about it.
Pete, done. We'll ring Mr. Peter Malinauskas, our Premier.
He'll
we
get
have
it.
a direct link with him, and we'll just say Peter Hooley wants to come home. So let's get
There
it
we
done.
go.
Good man. Hey, thanks for that. Great wrap. We'll speak soon.
Thanks, guys.
Peter Hooley there from ESPN, basketball expert, commentator, former player too. Now, we're home on the 9th, so that's this Saturday.
Correct.
7:30 tip-off.
Correct.
Versus Taipans. Let's fill the joint, pump that house, and let's have a win.
Good man, Peter Hurley. Now, all thanks to Powers. When you're after that special drop, thanks to your pals, they have it. Parafield Airport Liquor, it's the home of the hardest to find wines, beers and spirits. Yep, life's better with your pals.
It certainly is. Now, after the break,
yeah,
we're going to talk about free-to-air TV sports dying a slow death, if you like, on the vine. Amazon has just signed up cricket through the ICC, all the World Cups. So there'll be a paywall.
T20, 50 over?
All of them.
World Test Championship?
All of them.
Oh, fair dinkum.
They'll be behind a paywall. And I was just thinking, there's Fox, there's Amazon, Netflix, what else is there? Stan, Binge, I've got Apple, Paramount Plus, Prime Video, Disney Plus. I'm broke.
Oh, yeah, and I was just about to say, we're going again down a US model. And US have been on, you would have heard shows in the past just say, oh, it's on cable, it's on cable. That's what this is, pay TV back then.
Free TV Australia need to step up. The Olympics and all these sports should be free to air. If you're like me and your Visa cards just with all these paywalls at the kid. Do you pay for your kids ones?
I fund a couple and actually
share it.
Well, they fund a couple as well. So
that's
it's
the
actually,
way to do it.
It's probably the best model that our house has ever had.
Really?
For
So
sharing
yours
and
works?
caring. Well, yeah, it's okay at the moment. I must admit, years gone by when I just had the one Foxtel subscription, that was a dear option.
I am the major sponsor to my kids' entertainment, and I do not like it. Do you? 8223 0000.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
5AA celebrates 12 days of Christmas with the Fruit Choc shops, full of delicious gifts like fruit chocks, violet crumble and men's classics to make Christmas even sweeter. Keep listening for more great gift ideas. Merry Christmas from 5AA.
How easily could you save hundreds off your energy bills? That easy. Switch out your gas or electric hot water system for an energy-efficient heat pump with EcoVantage. Then sit back and save up to 70% on your water heating costs. And get it supplied and installed for as little as $0, thanks to government-facilitated subsidies. Yep, new hot water system from $0 that saves you hundreds. Pump your energy bills down with ecovantage.com.au.
This is RB Day for Supercraft Betting with Tales of Christmas. 'Twas the night before Christmas and Santa was ready to begin his annual journey to share all the prezzies. He got a little sleepy somewhere over the Adelaide lap. He found a spare bed for a quick power nap. Santa slept like a log once he rested his head until rudely awoken by Mrs. Smith. Get your own, this is my Supercraft bed. Supercraft Betting, building better spare beds. 42 Richmond Road, Keswick.
Rollerco would never boast about how good they are at fixing sliding doors and windows. So I'll do it for them. For nearly 40 years, Rollerco have been making and fixing all sorts of sliding doors and windows. They seriously know everything there is to know. And if by some outrageous chance they don't have the parts you need, they'll do their very best to find a solution. Rollerco.com.au. They'll get you rolling. Rollerco.com.au.
Experience the magic of Christmas with the Adelaide Symphony Orchestra. Join me, Guy Noble, your host and conductor, and sing along as we deck the halls with a magnificent array of carols, beloved classics and festive favourites. Bring your loved ones for a night out at the Festival Theatre on December 15 and 16 and kick off your silly season with the Adelaide Symphony. Book your tickets now at aso.com.au.
This Saturday, the entertainment centre's gonna get
FIVEAA this weekend for all the action when your Adelaide 36ers do battle with the Cairns Taipans. Led by NBL legend CJ Bruton, you don't want to miss the new look 36ers in what promises to be an exciting season. Full of entertainment for everyone, this is the hottest ticket in town. Catch the 36ers in action this Saturday 7:30pm at the Entertainment Centre. Tickets available at Ticketek.
Unleash your drive with Cupra, a lifestyle and sports car brand with a passion for racing. Our range of hybrid and electric cars blends power with sustainability, redefining the road ahead. Zip through the city or embark on an eco-friendly adventure. Cupra, where innovation meets emotion. Visit our state-of-the-art Cupra garage at 11 Weymouth Street, Adelaide, and let us help you find your dream ride. Cupra, unleash the future.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Hello, Stephen.
What year's this one? My Sharona.
My Sharona. I'm guessing 1977.
Okay.
That's only a guess, though.
822 I think they'll have out.
Somebody will help me.
Okay.
Hey, Christmas, we like.
Oh,
Do you get the spirit? You get the spirit? You got a grandson now.
Now that I got the little man, I think I am again. I turned it into the Grinch.
Yeah.
Because the kids were too old for presents.
And what happens
and
is...
Jodie just commercialised it. We wasted it. We all got a stocking each, jocks and socks and stuff you never use, even chewies. I said, get stuffed. Christmas is dead. Now it's rekindled.
Regenerated now.
Boy.
Well, I reckon...
Little Rory.
I'm feeling it in this show, the Rowey and Timmy G Sports Show. I'm feeling a little bit generous. So what I want to do...
Here we go.
Our good friends at Frederick Street's Finest, the
magnificent
quality product that they do.
Nuts, berries.
I want to give away a hamper on behalf of us, if
Right
that's
now?
okay. I want to give away a hamper now. The Christmas spirit is alive and well. 8223 0055. Just ring. That's all you got to do. And it's all thanks to Frederick Street Finest hampers. They are brilliant, people. Get down there and get yourself one and congratulate yourself with a Frederick Street Finest hamper. Look for Frederick Street Finest, fancy blue packet at your local Drake's supermarket, devoted to excellence.
One of the best Christmas gifts you can give is this hamper. You could re-gift that if you get it now.
That'll keep going
Give
and
it to
going
your best friend.
and going.
Well
and
done.
going.
We'll do that all week. Hey, some of the world's biggest cricket tournaments going to sit behind. They call them paywalls next year.
Yeah.
Paywalls. Amazon Prime Video. They've signed up. So they'll get the T20s, they get the Champions Trophy, they get the Cricket World Cup, they get the World Test Champ. This is men and women until 2027. Now, I thought we had a governing body. It was more like the Senate. I think it's now called Free TV Australia. We're our national team. So let's name them: the cricket, the soccer, Olympics and tennis. They had to be shown free to air.
Once
Whether
upon a
SBS
time.
carried it or the ABC
Once
carried
upon a
it.
time.
Yeah, it had to. Well, it's not now. And I think the cause of an effect is this. Let's just use cricket because they've just signed with Amazon. Cricketers have a revenue share model. So they're saying to the executives, get the best deal, mate.
Get the best deal.
Don't worry about Channel 7, 9, 10, let that little money. Go and get Amazon because we get a share of that. So they've driven it up inflationary style.
New world.
Their wages, their pay. And guess who misses out? Us.
The public.
Now we've got a lot of listeners. I mean, my nanny's one.
That's
I mean,
right.
They wouldn't be
can't
able to afford.
That's right.
An Amazon, a Netflix, a Stan, a Binge, an Apple, a Paramount, a Prime, a Video, a Disney Plus, and they're all getting smart now. Like I remember when, I think it was Netflix or one of them came out, and Gemma and Eddie bought it. That's my daughter and her husband. That was about 5 years ago. James had it. I had
Let
it.
me guess.
Gemma had it.
I
Nanny
know,
had it.
I know where this is going.
But no, but they've closed all that now. You can't.
Can't share it.
No. So it's just greed.
Well, now they
greed is not king.
Now they send you a message saying if you want somebody to share it, you just got to pay an extra bit now.
But that's right.
Per email address.
So gone will be the Olympics or the Socceroos in a World Cup.
Yeah.
Now our cricket or the tennis, a World Cup.
Yeah,
It's not fair, Timmy.
I feel sorry for people who are just not going to be able to afford every single paywall that's going out there.
Don't like what's a paywall? I didn't even know what that word was.
It's behind a paywall basically because you have to pay to get that subscription. So
this is what I think of paywalls.
It's not free to air. Yeah.
In the bin.
Yeah.
Okay, Reds have MacArthur tonight. That is live on a paywall. Paramount Plus. Is that free? Paramount Plus? Is
No.
it? So on a paywall. After the break, we'll have Reds coach Carl Viet.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy G.
Why buy an Island Star caravan? Well, they're designed and used by Knowles Caravans. There's thousands on the road and 75% of Knowles customers are repeat buyers. They know